Welcome to the Ringside Gods Podcast, where we discuss everything from boxing to professional wrestling to mixed martial arts. This podcast is completely uncensored.
I mean, when it comes down to it, anyone in that position would have saved him, but I get what you're saying.
I wanted to fuck him. I just started hitting him with a stick like a piñata. Fuck him.
Unrestricted.
The worst judge ever, Sal D'Amato.
Adelaide Bird.
And Cecil Peoples.
Oh, man. My bad. Sal, I don't apologize or anything, but yeah, Cecil is worse than you.
No topic is out of bounds.
Pick this guy up, or I get whacked in the parking lot by the mob. Lifts him up
Anthony.
off the ground.
Yo, Anthony.
Nothing to see here.
And totally unadulterated.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Oh, it was 16 and 11.
Well-
Oh, shit.
Well, alright.
Is that?
Well, that's
All
not
right, he
nice.
says.
Well, so he put a gun to his head rightfully. The end.
Anthony, so he's a pedophile.
It's like pedophile Mike Tyson.
Oh my god.
So, strap yourselves in, because your podcast starts in 3, 2, 1, now. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the Ringside Gods Podcast. I'm your host, Projectmadtrapr. Now we're going to have a few different guests on today, besides having Mac and hopefully King. We're going to see who shows up. Now, unfortunately, we did have to let Bill O'Reilly go from doing our outros. However, we have someone new, and we'll see how that works. We have a whole bunch of topics to cover. We have UFC 237. We have Kevin Lee vs. RDA coming up tomorrow. We have Deontay Wilder and Dominick Cruz. And we have some WWE news to cover, so let's get into it. Welcome to episode 5. Let's hit it. Okay, so let's start this fucker. Alright, so let's start with the bottom of the card. The only interesting fight that was bringing some people to this. I mean, I had a couple fights I was interested in. But let's start with Clay Guida, BJ Penn, UFC 237 recap. Let's recap the fight.
Alright, so I just want to start off by saying that. Now, I'm not saying in rounds 1 and 2. I'm not saying rounds 1 and 2.
Okay.
I thought Penn won round 1. However,
Yeah.
he was gassed after that noticeably. And he possibly
no,
could have made an
undeniably.
argument for round 2 in some ways. However, in
Maybe.
round 3, I had a feeling Guida knew he won round 2. And I think he carried him in round 3 the distance on purpose. I think
Wow.
he chose not to finish him. I think he carried him out of respect.
You know,
I
that
think
it's
Clay Guida
possible.
carried him.
I could see Clay doing that. I just think Clay's probably just
I
as
feel
far
he
down
knew
the
he had it
well, I
in the
shouldn't say
bag.
just. Well, he definitely did, but I think Clay definitely won round 2. You could make an argument BJ won it. I mean, that's an interesting argument.
Yeah, Clay
that he
probably
carried
did
him out
win
of
round 2.
respect. But I kind of saw Izzy doing that to Anderson a bit, where he didn't go quite as hard as he could have.
Right. Same with DC and Andy.
Yeah, a little bit, but the thing is, it's like I did see
Maybe
that a
not
bit
with
where they
DC.
didn't go as hard. Yeah, I'm not sure about the DC one. I don't.
I
But
think
then
that
he
was
did get hit in
fear
the
after
fucking
getting
liver.
hurt.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Clay is almost, not as, but almost as down the rabbit hole as fucking BJ is at this point, you know? I mean, because who did he beat? Like Joe Lozon, who was like, fucked 3 ways from Sunday for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, they're both pretty down the rabbit hole. It was kind of like Hoist and Ken. It was like, oh fuck, which one of these guys is gonna go first? And then it was Hoist with a dick shot that puts him down. You know, so it's like, I don't know. Maybe, though. I mean, you've seen fighters do this. We've seen them do that in boxing. Like Marciano really carried Joe Louis that fucking fight. He didn't have to. You know, we've seen this.
where you fight someone who's like really ideal, your idol, and you don't want to hurt them. But I wasn't sure who to fucking would win this fight. BJ looked good right off the bat, and I was like, wow, that's a really good start for BJ. And then fucking it just went all the way down the crapper. I think I said no one won the fight. The fans lost because this was a shitty fight.
Right.
It was not.
I was kind of expecting that, honestly, so I didn't really care.
Oh yeah. No, exactly. I was like, well, whoever wins, we still lost. Predator.
We all lost tonight.
Well, it should have happened like 13 years ago or something. You never want to say that about a fight.
13
no, that should
years
have happened
ago.
over a decade ago. Should have happened over a decade ago when they were both relevant.
Facts.
Right? Fuck. I mean,
I
was happy with either one.
Like, I thought BJ should have retired a while ago, so it is what it is.
Johnson?
Or fuck BJ.
Oh, BJ. Well, he really did blow. I mean, he didn't finish the job, unfortunately. I was just like, oh god. And how about that fucking UFC and Bellator holding these two cards against each other on the same night? I was so pissed. I had to simulcast. I had the pay-per-view, and then I had I had Bellator, because I didn't want to stream both and strain too much on my computer, but I wanted to watch both. And I was like, oh fuck. Well, fine, I'll buy the pay-per-view, because in Canada, thankfully, I'm not living in the States, we still have the same model as before. You're the guys that only got fucked. Well, actually, Detox, you're in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So what
good.
goes
So
on in
King
Canada?
got fucked there. It's the same as before.
Like,
No, but fucking cable.
Oh, you can still, like, you don't have to have ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
You're saying?
No, yeah, exactly. I don't think they
What
have it
the
set up
fuck?
in Canada just yet. Yeah, only the States gets fucked on that one. Because they're
we
getting
don't have
probably
that
fucking
ESPN.
20 million a pay-per-view, regardless of how it sells. They're probably
Yeah.
getting paid under the table. Which
Yeah,
fucks
even
the
though they
fighters,
didn't have a
too.
lot of buys, it's still enough buys to make money. So they're like,
Well, they made money either way, even if it has 0 buys.
yeah.
They're like, well, we got paid from ESPN.
Yup.
It's just such a... It's like a stupid fucking... It's such a stupid idea. Like, such a stupid fucking idea and concept. Let's abandon the staple of everything. Just, because. It's like, oh, well, everyone loves Reebok. Fuck the fighters having their own shorts. Like Tito and
I
Chop
miss that.
Me
miss
too.
that shit.
Like, sure, I do hate having Condom Depot on every fighter.
Yeah.
But you know what? At least they got paid. At least they got fucking paid for acting like a fucking dick. They could fucking actually have some clothes that don't have their wrong fucking name, like Giblert. Or, they actually have Northern Ireland on the fucking flag and shit,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's so stupid, the money grabs that they're doing, but you know what? They probably need it. They overpaid for a company that was good when it was being ran by professionals.
Yeah.
But still, it's like
Yeah, they
just
probably
keep
have
fucking
to.
it because of money. They have to. Like, I don't know is ESPN even that good compared to Fox? I mean, fuck, there's some analysts on there before the BJ Penn and Guida fight were annoying me. What the fuck's that moron's name? I couldn't even remember. This guy doesn't know anything and just kept, legend of the sport. Just kept repeating himself. And I'm like,
Are
who
we
the
talking
fuck's
about
this
that
idiot
fat
again?
idiot, Jay Glazer?
No. Jake Glazer knows more about the fucking sport than this muppet. This, clean-cut guy, typical guy, but he's just a sports guy, but doesn't know anything.
No, I don't like
That's why
Jay Glazer either.
No, I don't either. You know who
I don't know
hate
how
is
this
John
guy.
Morgan, that
He
fat
has
fuck.
he's in like a fitness commercial.
Oh fuck!
It's
of
like,
what, eating
what?
cheeseburgers and not
Yeah,
dying.
yeah. I was like, this fat fuck doesn't exercise.
Fucking his
Unbelievable.
fucking hair must be exercising. How fast it fell off his head.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, fat
it
bull
ran for the
fucker.
fucking door the second. Too bad it doesn't happen to John Morgan. He'd probably just keel over and die. Fuck
For
John
God's
Morgan.
sake.
I don't like that guy. Fuck him.
Fuck John Morgan. I don't like that guy.
You know, his fat fucking. He's hiding hamburgers in his cheeks. That's why they're so fucking huge and his receding hairline. Let's just talk about Bellator quickly. Now, I was only interested in about the 2 fights. I didn't give a fuck, to be honest, about the Jack Swagger fight. You know, I know Mac was all hyped because his friend was fighting him. You know, and it was a dream. But I'm like,
wait,
is this,
Mac's
is
friend
this like,
was fighting Jake Hager?
Yeah, because they like met when, I don't know, some online fan probably.
Yeah.
But still, it was like, because when the kid was
He
like,
made the best of it.
He looks like he's 12, and he has a picture of him meeting Jack Swagger at like a WWE event thing, and then they fought years later, and it's like, who's this fat fuck they're giving Jack Swagger? Like, I know that at least they're not giving him a killer right away, like UFC did with CM Punk, but it's like, you give him this guy? This looks like the guy who beat up the Hamburglar in the fucking in the McDonald's line.
Yeah, that guy, he is a fat slob. But apparently as an amateur, he was 9-1, they showed.
Did he just fight Brother Lynch over and over again from MMA? Like, who the fuck did he fight?
But again, it's amateur.
Maybe he just fought Cody.
Like, they've literally taken guys out of the stands. Like, want to do a fight?
No, probably.
Maybe they were at
probably
super
just made him
heavyweight.
fight Cody.
He is a fat
they probably just made him
sloth.
fight Cody. Cody would take that fight.
He didn't look like he had any knowledge of fighting, though.
No.
Like, he walked down the
That's why I was
aisle
like-
dancing around like an idiot. I guess he was just making the best of it, though. You know what I mean? I think he knew what was going to happen.
I mean, why the fuck is that the 3rd biggest fight on the card?
Big name. But you know what?
Medium name.
Well, I'm not saying he's a big name fighter, but he is a big name.
I guess so, but I mean,
I think any fan of pro wrestling would know who he is.
yeah, I guess so, but I'm just like, fuck, it looks terrible.
I'm just saying though, like,
I'm
you know
like,
what I mean?
what?
Like, if you've ever, if you're an actual fan of pro wrestling, I'm not saying that's someone who's watched it once, but if you're a fan of pro wrestling and you watch it here and there, you certainly know who he is.
I know.
I mean,
maybe
you're like,
that
oh,
should
that's
be the
Jack
curtain
Swagger
jerker, you know? Maybe that should be the curtain jerker of a fight for the card, but...
I think it's time for a
they
step up
made
in
their
competition for him, though.
Oh, God,
Like,
yeah.
now it's time
Give him
for a
some
real
old
opponent.
bum.
You had 2 bums.
Yeah.
Now it's time for a
Give him an
real
old
opponent.
bum. Give him someone who's past their prime, who just can dig up Ken Shamrock.
What about that old guy that has
Or
like
voice.
300 fights?
Severn? No.
No, oh no, Severn would kick the shit out of him.
Oh my God.
Hang on, I think his name's Travis Fulton. Let me.
Oh, right, yeah, I remember him. Jesus, he's been around for a long time.
There you
Holy
go.
fuck, I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah,
about him.
254 wins, 54 losses.
Jesus Christ. Fuck me. Alright, so let's go with the Lima MVP fight. Now, this was going on when the Betch Kohea fight was basically happening, and then basically the Aldo Volkanovski fight. So I was simulcasting both. Or no, I paused the pay-per-view. That's what I did, and then I watched the Lima MVP fight. Now, I was going to pick MVP, because I was like, I don't know, it's just something. It was kind of like what I had with Izzy and Gastelum. I just had this funny fucking feeling. But then it didn't, whereas I got more solidified for picking Izzy over Gastelum, over thinking about it over and over again, it went the opposite way, where I thought, who the fuck has MVP fought? Daly is the biggest opponent, and I thought MVP would have some success early, but that over time, Lima, fucking leg kicks, would fucking just slow him down and just kick the shit out of him. And Lima would win, I thought, maybe later. I was thinking 4th round.
Yeah.
And would clip him and finish him. I didn't expect what happened when he flopped like a fucking fish out of water and got murdered. It's literally like he just jumped out of he caught him out of the fucking ocean like a
why
bear.
he got that aggressive.
Yeah, that cockiness, man.
Very
Brits are
overly,
very
overly
cocky.
aggressive, very unprofessional. Yo,
When it's profession, like cracking Evangelista
yo,
Santos' head
maybe
open
it's time
and
to bring
then
Travis
rolling a
Fulton to
Pokeball.
Bellator. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Let's get Fulton in there against Jake Hager.
How about Bob Sapp too?
Ooh, the beast.
Didn't he just get a win?
Oh my
Like a
god,
year
let's
ago?
check. I'm gonna Google.
Oh god.
He did,
Yeah, like,
dude.
right away.
He beat a sumo. Oh,
Yeah.
Osunarashi is a sumo wrestler.
Yeah, isn't that the guy who
I've
started?
watched
Bob
him
Sapp was
compete
crying.
in sumo.
Yeah, I think that's the fight where Bob Sapp started crying because he cut open his opponent, and it almost looked like he wanted to give up then. He like cut him bad, and he's just Bob Sapp's crying. He didn't broke his nose.
Oh
He's
my
just
God.
fucking being a big baby.
So Sapp got cut and started
Detox.
crying?
Yeah.
No, he cut his opponent, I think, and then he started crying because he cut his opponent and hurt his opponent.
Who,
He's like-
Osunarashi?
Yeah, Bob Sapp cut
Maybe
him,
it was
I
out of
think,
respect
and-
for, like, the guy's, like, sumo career. I don't know.
I don't
Either
know.
way, you're in there to
I
fight.
don't know. Bob Sapp's fucked in the head.
Yeah, he has mental
He
problems.
never had brains. Oh, he never had brains. Like
It's
when
a
Ariel
shame
was
what
saying
happened
how-
to his career. It really is a shame.
Of course. It's like Crow
That-
Cop and Noguera stole his soul.
Yeah, it's unfair that people don't think he ever had a career. You know what I mean? They think he's
I
just
know.
the goof
He
that we
was-
say today. Like, I mean, this is a guy that won a K1 tournament.
Yeah.
He won a
Yep.
K1 tournament, he beat Ernesto Hoost twice, and then he just went down the fucking rabbit hole.
Yep.
But I mean,
He went
you
chasing
can't
that fucking
suck
rabbit.
and beat Ernesto Hoost. You can't
No,
suck and
he
beat
didn't.
him.
No. He fucking power slammed. He pile drove fucking Noguera head first into the fucking mat and almost finished him. People
Yeah,
forget
he was
that.
going
They
at
look
him.
at that on the paper.
He was
Yeah, they
going at
look
him.
at that and they look on paper and they look at the joke and it's like, yeah, but did you see that fight? It's like they look at Mark Hunt's record. Oh, he sucks. Look at that. Or like BJ Penn.
Yeah, yeah.
Going back to BJ, poor old.
Oh
blowjob
my
Penn.
god. It's gonna be negative if
Everyone
they let him keep
thinks
fighting.
that he sucks. Everyone thinks that he sucks, right? And that he was never good. And I'm like, he was the lightweight goat for the longest time. And it's like, no, he sucked. And it's like, this guy kept trying to tell me that BJ always sucked, never beat anyone good. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah, he-
almost
that's
beat
ridiculous.
GSP.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He was a great fighter at one point, and what
And they
happened to
just
BJ
kept fighting.
was, well, he did just keep fighting, but Rory MacDonald broke him. He broke him.
Well, yeah.
He was never the same
Diaz.
after that fight. The Diaz fight was a beating
Well, yeah,
too,
he-
but Rory MacDonald broke him. He
Sent
took
him on
away
his
his
way.
spirit. He took away
Yep.
everything he ever had with that beating. That was one of
He
the
never
worst
got back.
beatings I've ever seen
Oh.
without there being a finish.
It was brutal. You know, just fucking BJ just fought for too long. You know?
He looked
has
like a
his close
punching
fights
bag
with
in there.
Edgar. Yeah. He should not have been fighting the young guys. He shouldn't have went down to 145. That was stupid.
No.
You know, I mean, it's just, he has nowhere to go. And that's the thing, is like, BJ wasted his time. And that's, people remember him, and they're going to look at him like a joke because he has like a Tito Ortiz record or worse. And
Ortiz
you
is
know,
getting more respect these days.
well, hey, he did fucking beat the corpse of Chuck Liddell into pieces, so, you know.
The ice paw.
Oh, you know what I said on Twitter? After people were... I couldn't believe I agreed with Dylan Dennis when he's like, BJ, you need to retire. You have nothing left to prove, blah, blah, blah. Please don't fight anymore. And I'm like, I can't believe I actually agree with Dylan Dennis. And Conor McGregor commented and responded saying, well, BJ's a warrior. He should be allowed to do whatever he wants, blah, blah, fucking blah. And then I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually siding with Dylan Dennis over McGregor. But
Dennis
I
and McGregor
am.
are still
Here it
friends,
is.
though, right?
Oh yeah, and then McGregor deleted the tweet like his name was John Jones. But fucking, I can't believe I agreed with Dylan Dennis, and I'm like, I tweeted this to Dylan Dennis too, and I was like, I can't believe I agree with you, and also, no one give BJ's number to Oscar De La Hoya. No one do it. We don't need another fucking Chuck Liddell fight. We don't need some fucking corpse fighting someone else. We've already gotten enough. That's the thing. We've already got. I'm like, maybe send him to Bellator. I don't know. Just retire, BJ. Do what Jens did. Jens retired. He had nothing left to prove. He beat big names. He was the champion. He retired. A little later than I wanted, but he retired. And even Jens was like years ago, he was just like, man, fuck, BJ probably shouldn't keep fighting. I think that was after the Yair fight. So going back to Bumator here, what did you think of Lima MVP Detox?
I mean, I think Venom got like a little overconfident once he found like a little bit of success, and that's why he started like trying to do all that fancy shit. And I don't know, Douglas probably
off on Lima.
Right. And then as soon as he went into that stance and Lima took his legs out, like it just makes me feel like Lima was prepared for like that stance specifically, because I mean he does it a lot in his fight. So
well, he switches so often.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
Like
I always wanted to see how MVP did against like solid competition, because I really don't like feel like he's had that many tests. Like Daly's,
no, he hasn't.
He's I don't know. He's past his prime, so.
Well, his prime was like when he punched Josh Koscheck, and
right.
he kind of sucked at that point still too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I look at it and it's like, I think MVP people are gonna look and see, I told you MVP was a bum, and I'm like, he's not a bum. He's a good fighter.
Right.
But it's like where someone like Adesanya, like, kind of adjusted. I don't know. MVP's that wide stance of his is just ripe for a Muay Thai striker, someone who just targets legs, like Till fucking versus Thompson, or not Till. Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Till versus Thompson. It's kind of the same thing. That wide stance just leaves you so vulnerable, and Lima's legitimate. I can't believe that people fucking say Bellator has no one. And I'm like, they have Lima. Lima's legitimate.
No one. Bader, McDonald, Lima, Fit.
Right. Bellator is popping right now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying to people. It's like, fuck, Bellator is putting on, at least they're putting on these good cards. They're doing it fucking properly.
And I still like watching Fedor fight. I don't give a fuck.
No, I do too. I don't think anyone doesn't want to see Fedor fight.
I think he's fine.
I think he should get a win. Give him a win somewhere, somehow. Maybe Barnett. Maybe he can beat Barnett. I don't know. If he beats someone, like let's say he beats Barnett. Let's say he just one punches Barnett. Retire. You don't need anything. You know what I mean? He looked good against Frank Mir. He looked good against Chael. He should have looked good in those fights. People counted him out against Frank Mir, and I didn't. But it's like, we have to be a bit legitimate here. And just, Bellator is doing good.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
having these good fighters. Like, when I saw MVP, I didn't expect the punch right after he got swept by that kick. Right. I saw the kick, I'm like, oh, he went down. I didn't see him. I didn't see that leg kick, hurt him. It just looked like it took him off.
No, it was just, it was just like he took
perfect.
him right off his feet. It didn't hurt or anything.
And he looked like a fish flopping.
Yeah.
He looked like a fish flopped out of water.
It's definitely unexpected. He wasn't expecting that leg kick at all.
No.
He was like, oh shit.
He came in, I think, overconfident because he never got checked. He always was able to fuck around with overmatched opponents. How good is he? I think he's good. Is he top 10? Probably not, but he's really big for that division.
Who's this?
It's worth it. MVP.
Yeah,
I don't think he's top 10, but he's on the cusp.
Higher than that in Bellator.
Well, yeah, I mean, in all MMA, though. He wouldn't be in my top 10. But he'd probably be near the outside. He needs another...
I think he's in the top 15.
Definitely top 15, I would say. But then, again, you look at it on paper, people aren't going to remember that, oh, this person was winning. They're just going to look, oh, he got destroyed. It's like, no. That's what annoys me.
Yeah, it's not really the case. Like, Lima earned the win,
and
but...
they look at... he did get
stunned. MVP
early.
got too over-aggressive.
Right, and that's once he got stunned, I feel like MVP just got a little too overconfident and then made a mistake.
He's like, oh, this is just like my other fights.
Right.
All right, let's go with the main event of Bellator, which was Patricio Pitbull versus Michael Chandler. Chandler was the champion, and then it was over in 60 seconds. Not a fan of Chandler, huh?
Nope.
Jeez.
Like when I think of a turd, I think of Michael Chandler. It's like whenever he fights, it's worse than stepping in dog shit. Barefoot.
Oh, no.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, fuck Michael Chandler. And I am glad Pitbull dispatched him early. Just like I knew he would.
Like, when I watched the fight. Like, see, when I watched the
This
fight,
is coming from a
well,
guy who doesn't like watching Max Holloway fight, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Is there anybody else?
Max Holloway... He doesn't mind watching Max Holloway fight. He just does it out of principle because Max...
I watched his last fight over and over.
It is what it is.
I know.
Is there anybody else?
Oh my god.
0-2 against Poirier. Is there anybody else?
Yep. When I saw the fight, I was like, man, Pitbull is I saw both the guys are in really good shape. And I'm like, Pitbull doesn't look outsized so much in this fight. Short and super stocky. And I'm like, he's going to fucking hit hard. And the one thing I hate about Chandler is his stance. It's open as fuck. Like, he leaves his head there, just dangling there. And it's like, man, it just needs to get cracked. And I was getting nervous as every second that went on in that fight. But I thought, no, Chandler will probably get hurt, but he'll come back and he'll wrestle, and he'll probably wrestle him, and it'll be close enough. But probably 3-2 Chandler. Pitbull would look good, but not that good. And then he just fucking punches him in the back of the gets him in the side of the ear, and just fucking puts him on his ass and puts him on his back, and he's covering up. And at first, when I first watched it, I thought the fight was over too fast. I'm like, oh, that fucking ref just stepped in a second or two early. And I still think that way, but I'm not pissed about it, because I'm like, you know what, actually, when I saw it later and I rewatched it and took my time watching the whole fight over and over again, I'm like, I can't forgive the ref. I can forgive the ref for stepping in when he did, because until the ref started moving in, he was just covering up, eating shots.
Right.
And he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
But, like, in the heat of the moment, I was annoyed, because I'm like, fuck, he should have just let it go on a couple
extra
seconds.
You moved to the ref came in.
I know, and I'm like, that's what my confusion initially happened. But because the other fights were going on, I'm like, okay, I want to get back to those other fights. And so that's why I was like, okay. I was like, I'll watch it later. And
that's one thing I like about you. You know what I mean, man? Like if I say something such as, like, what I did say, like, I don't know, man, it's like he was just laying there till the ref came, you're like, well, I'll have to watch it again. I knew you were literally going to watch it again.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing. That's what, Jordan said about me. Like, when I watched Whitaker and Romero, and I'm a humongous Yoel Romero fan, and I picked Romero to win, because I'm like, okay, well, he'll make the adjustments. I mean, fuck, he could have had the fight. He just stopped kicking him in the leg. If he did it a few more times, he probably would have won.
Romero, Whitaker. Yeah.
Yeah, and for the second fight, I don't know what the fuck Joe Rogan was smoking in the corner. He probably didn't take his alpha brain that night. I'm like, how the fuck does Romero win this fight? And I'm like the biggest Romero dick rider there is. And I'm like, how does anyone argue that Romero won the fight? Like, you have to argue how many different rounds are 10-8 rounds for him to win. You have to give him 3 rounds. I can't do that.
Yeah, I couldn't
I
either.
can give him 2.
I felt
I
Whitaker
can give
earned
him
it.
2 rounds. I can give him 2 rounds at best. Not 3. And I felt that even when he rocked Whitaker, it wasn't dominant enough to really warrant a 10-8 round, if I remember correctly.
I agree.
I'd
I don't
have to
think there was
rewatch
any.
that
I don't
fight.
think he 10-8'd him.
I don't think he did either. And, I know that the new rules, you have to give a 10-8, and it's like fucking just throw them out there. Before, I thought the rules were better because
Yeah, now
you
it's got out
you
of
actually had
hand.
to earn it. Yeah. I know that 10-8 rounds need to happen more often for the judges, but for the rest of the people, I think we had a good semblance of what constituted a 10-8 round.
10-8 rounds mean
you
got the shit kicked out of you. The
Yeah,
beating you
like,
took
Exactly.
was as if
you
you got
almost
your
did
ass kicked
nothing.
twice.
Like, you were in full mount the entire time, and not like a Jake Shields full mount, where you're getting, titted,
No.
you're getting, like, the fucking babiest of baby punches. No, where someone's, like, khabibing you for a fucking entire round. That's a 10-8 round. Not like, oh, you took him down and controlled him the entire round. Like, would I give
Or
Khabib Conor
unpopular,
one a
well,
10-8?
maybe not unpopular, but when McGregor dropped
No,
Diaz
because Khabib
twice
was just pretty
in a
much
single
laying,
round.
like holding him down.
That's a 10-8. That's a
Yeah.
10-8 round.
Twice
Diaz,
in one
Conor.
round, that should be a 10-8. Because it's MMA. I
Even
know it's
if
not
one of
boxing,
those-
but boxing, you're
Of
dropped
course.
once, it's 10-8. So MMA, I think if you're dropped
I know.
twice and most of the fight was on the feet, that's a 10-8 round.
See,
Yeah, I
it
don't know
depends on
how
the
I,
rest of
I
what
don't,
happens,
I
but-
don't know how I feel about that. Like that's
But,
I
I
feel
mean,
like that's such a
generally-
complicated. Because
Yeah,
like
but
there's
generally I
rounds
would
where I
agree.
see guys get rocked, like their shit rocked, but they're still landing good shots. They're still like in the fight. So it's like I don't know, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, in
Rock
general,
is different
I
than
agree
drop,
with
though,
you,
right?
King.
Like,
Yeah, but I mean, generally I would agree with you if a fighter got dropped twice.
I'm
You'd
saying
probably
twice.
give
I'm
it
not
10-8.
saying once. I'm not saying one little flash
No, no.
drop. I'm
No,
talking
no,
he got
but, like-
dropped a couple of times, and most of the fight was on the feet anyway. How could you not?
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. It's all contextual, right? But I would generally agree. But like everyone does it now, and I'm like, a 10-8 round. It's like, for what? For fucking what? You have to.
The point is
earn
now
these
it's out of
10-8
hand.
rounds.
I
It's
was
so out of
just trying to
hand.
give an example where I felt the 10-8 would be warranted, like 2
Yeah.
knockdowns.
Like,
and most of the
would I
fight was on the
give
feet.
Khabib?
And that was pretty
Like,
dominant.
would I give Khabib Conor the first round? Would I give that a 10-8? No. Because it didn't do anything. I mean, I gave it to Khabib for control, but you could argue Conor did more. He actually struck with the fucking elbows and stuff, while Khabib just fought for position. I don't know. I can't give those rounds a 10-8, even though it was dominant in wrestling for one particular opponent. It's like when people
Some of
have
the
this
fight with
fucking
Lesnar and
stupid
Herring,
notion-
that 1 or 2 of those rounds could have been 10-8. Like where he
know what I mean?
punched
It's
him and
so
the guy did a
ridiculous.
backflip from the punch, and then Lesnar took him down and started beating the shit out of him. That was pretty 10-8 worthy.
See,
Someone
like,
punches
that's
you
what
and you do
Jordan
a
said,
somersault, a backwards roll, or whatever. And then that person takes you down relentlessly and beats the shit out of you the whole round. Maybe that's a 10-8.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that was the thing. Like, Jordan gave me props because he knew I was the biggest dick rider for Yoel. And I said he didn't win that fight. Yoel could have, and he ruined it again by being an idiot. And he's like, yeah, I have respect for you, Trapper. And I'm like, good. Because just because I'm favoring someone doesn't mean I'm going to fucking I'm going to be blind to them the whole time.
Exactly.
They lose. And so that's when I rewatched it and I saw, I'm like, you know what? I can definitely forgive the ref for. I mean, would I have stepped in on that fight? I probably would have gave it a couple more seconds. But fucking, I'm not the ref, but he did a decent job. And at the end of the day, I always argue safety of the fighter, always. So good
at
win
one
for
point,
Pitbull.
I was a fan of Roy Nelson. Now I don't really care for the guy. I remember when he
always
fought
hated him.
Derek Lewis. I didn't think he won, and I was glad he lost the decision. I didn't think he
too.
won. It was like, you know what, Roy? Then right there, I was like, this is why I'm starting not to like you, Roy. Like everything's like, oh,
You're
poor
bitching
me, I
about-
deserve that win. It's like, no, you fucking lost that fight, dude. Like, you didn't do
You
anything.
said that in the last
You didn't do
one.
anything.
In episode 2 of our podcast, when you're just like, Roy Nelson every time, just like he got knocked out by Mark Hunt. He's like, what? I won that fight. I'm like, that is totally what Roy Nelson would do.
Yes, man. What were you saying about Pitbull, though, when I interrupted with that shit?
Oh, I was just like, it was a good win for Pitbull. He earned
Yeah!
it. And
Yeah,
safety
good win.
of the fighter. You know, good for him. He's a good opponent, too. He's a really good fighter. So, I know you want to cover this fight, King. Let's go to the Betch Kohea fight. where she was winning and then got tapped out.
Yeah, I mean,
Was she fighting again? I forget that bitch's name.
I'll think of it. Aldana? I don't know.
Yeah, Aldana. Yeah, it was Irene Aldana. I was just like, this
I think
fight
Betch is
sucks.
still ranked, though, right? I don't know if she fell out of the rankings.
I think she
for
fell
it.
out of the rankings. I don't
But-
fucking know. Both of them didn't look good in that fight.
Betch needs a win bad, and I don't know where she's going to get it. Because I like looking at her fat ass
I
bounce
do
around
too.
a little, you know?
I do like her ass.
I'll be honest.
But I'm like, 60
She's a good
pounds
ass.
overweight is not a good look, and then a losing streak is also not a good look.
No. And she could have won that fight.
Maybe we can rematch her with Ronda. I don't know.
Honda House.
Lousy.
I did feel... I mean, she has good wins. Jessica I, Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke.
Yeah.
But, and I thought she deserved to beat Raquel Pennington. I didn't like that decision.
You know.
I didn't like that decision at all.
You know who should give her? I would say Tanya
Who?
Evinger or Lena Landsberg. Give her one of those two.
Ooh, I like the Lena Landsberg fight, because I don't want to look at Tanya Evinger.
No. Looks like the
Oh
trucker
my
that ate
God.
Jodie Foster.
I was going to say, oh my God, you must be reading my mind. I was like, she looks like a fat trucker.
She looks like Jodie Foster if she was in Monster and also drove a truck.
If she was, you know, a little more ugly. A little uglier Jodie Foster.
I was gonna say, yeah, the creature that ate Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah,
glad
like
that
if
fight
Jodie
was
Foster
over.
got smacked with a shovel. Just started eating.
I was just glad that fight was over, because when I watched that fight, I was like, oh, thank fuck she got a submission. I'm like, why is this even on the main card? It was a last-minute replacement because Masranduba couldn't fight. It's just so
I
stupid.
think they did it just for the ratings for Carrera's ass.
Oh, probably.
Well, a lot of readings to see that ass.
Well, how
She
about-
has a really world-class
How
ass.
about Mackenzie Dern versus her? Just let Mackenzie Dern weigh in whatever. Oh, she's pregnant. I guess they'll put that on
I think
pay-per-view.
Mackenzie... Does she have an opponent?
She's pregnant, I think.
Of course.
Of course. A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Is she married?
I don't even...
Of course not, right?
Probably not.
Let's see.
With her
Let's
fake
go see
Brazilian...
whore.
fake Brazilian accent.
Let's see. I don't think she's married. I think she's just any cock will do, you know?
Probably. Any good steed. But she probably... She has to have that fake accent, though. Where she's like using the
Oh my god,
translator.
it's so dumb.
Using a translator. It's like,
So
bitch,
dumb.
you
Yeah, that
speak
shit is so
English.
cringy,
You
bro.
speak English, motherfucker. Even Anderson speaks English.
So cringy.
I know.
Why does she pretend
She's probably just
that
obsessed.
she's not an
Dude,
American?
She's
I
obsessed
don't
with
know.
Brazilian culture, I think, and just wants to be
It's
Brazilian.
weird.
Is it
bro.
because, like, that Brazilian guy...
Well, is she not Brazilian?
I
Isn't she
don't know.
Brazilian? Like her father?
She's an
But she was,
American.
yeah, she's American, but her father isn't. I'm pretty sure she's like part Brazilian or something,
Oh,
bro.
probably.
But she
Who
was
gives a
like,
fuck?
She grew up in Arizona.
I heard her speak perfect. Yeah, she didn't grow up in Brazil or anything.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, she had a fucking
That's like-
valley
Yeah, she was
girl
born in
fucking.
Phoenix.
Yeah, that's like if I'm part Scottish, but I'm not gonna fucking start.
It would be like my
a...
Colombian wife. Her parents are Colombian, but my wife
Right.
was born in New York City. It would be like her using a translator.
Yeah, it'd be like if I started sounding like Tommy Tucker just
Like
because
my
I'm
wife
part
speaks English
Scottish.
just fine. Yeah. Holy shit.
I know. Oh my.
She is just a dumb slut.
Yep, pretty much. That pretty much sums up.
end.
And fucking misses weight every fucking time. Like, literally.
And she's too fat to be missing weight. It's
She
not like she
is.
has a lot of muscle.
No, she has
She doesn't
huge
have
hips.
any.
She has huge hips, that's it. Huge hips, saggy tits.
Very talented grappler. Probably talented in the blowjob department, too.
She's got a big mouth,
But
so.
can't make weight. Yeah. That's probably where her talent lies.
Probably.
Sucking cock.
I'm not a big Mackenzie Dern fan. Fuck Mackenzie Dern. Dirty hippie.
I'm kind of still on the Betch thing, though. Who are we saying we're going to give her? Lena Landsberg,
That's
right?
what I think. Tonya Evinger or Lena
That would be
Landsberg.
good, because she's ranked 13 and Betch is 14.
That works. I think that's a good fight.
Or Evinger, like you
Lena
said,
Landsberg's
even though
hot,
she's
so
gross.
I'll take
Number
that.
12.
She's more attractive.
Oh, what about Foxy Yana
Oh, Yana Kunitskaya.
Kunitskaya
I think
or whatever?
that's too
Yeah.
good. I think that's too good of an opponent. We want to get Betch a win.
Beats the shit out of her.
How about we just have a Lena Landsberg Betch fight, loser leaves town match, and just promote it as such? That one of them's getting cut. UFC should do that for marketing.
Someone's out of here.
We have too many fighters under contract. You're fighting for your job.
That would be good.
Can you imagine the promotion they would get? They
I think Lena
totally
Landsberg's
should.
kind of cute, too.
She's Swedish, man. Of course.
Yeah.
Although I think that's Akira Kurosani's girl.
That would be a good fight. That would be a really good fight.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So what do you guys think of Aldo Volkanovski? Aldo just looked like dog shit. But that's what we were saying. He's like, he had 1 foot out of the sport already. He's like, oh, I'm going to go to boxing. I want to do this. And it's like, man, when you're thinking that you're not in the game. But I wasn't sure if he was done.
Here's the thing.
No leg kicks.
I mean, he's young,
Hungry.
but,
He doesn't have hunger.
I mean, young to a degree. Like, he's been fighting a long time.
Yeah. In fight years, he's like 65.
Yeah, he's been fighting a long time. Yeah, I was going to say 50, but yeah, 65.
You know,
I think Alexander's too much for probably anyone in the division besides, let's say, Cejudo. I mean, excuse me.
Yeah. Your boy.
What I'm saying is, actually, no, I'll stand by that. Maybe they'll have a fucking bantamweight super fight, right? Because Volkanovski's a featherweight,
Yeah.
so why not a little Cejudo super fight at
Fuck,
bantam?
Cejudo might. If he does that, Cejudo would be like.
Cejudo said he's going to go up to bantam, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going up to bantam.
Yeah,
but,
he's fighting
Volkanovski's a feather.
Marlon.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you never know. Maybe a bantamweight super fight or a 140 catchweight.
Can you imagine if Cejudo moved
Like, I
up
think it was
and
gonna-
beat everyone at
I think it would take.
145?
I'm not changing my words here. I'm standing by what I said. Cejudo at 145.
Little 5'3" fucking.
Just
Hey,
doesn't cut any weight.
If Pitbull can
Insane.
fight feather, he can fight feather.
Yeah. You know.
Or excuse me, if Pitbull can fight lightweight, Cejudo can fight feather.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. Volkanovski's good. I just don't, he's very good. He's very hungry. He's got a really good skill set. I just don't know if it's
He's a
good
bad
enough.
dude.
I just don't know if it's good enough at the upper echelon. But he's
Yeah, I don't
definitely
think
like
he's that
top
great.
5.
At
I
least
think
not
he's.
yet.
I think he's top, maybe number 5. We have to see. Again, this was an Aldo.
I think he's the best in the division.
He could be. We don't. So that's the thing. You have all these.
Like, I think if Poirier fights him, Poirier looks like a boob.
I think Poirier is
That's
too
my
big
opinion.
to ever go back to 145. He's too big now. He's way too fucking big. Like, he's jacked.
You don't think he can go down?
I don't think he can. He's way too filled out now. Like, he was skinny, but he had that frame, that wide frame. Now at that fucking 155, he's got to be at least like 180. He's got to be at least 180 pounds off season.
Let's see.
He's fucking huge.
Who do we give? Well, we got to give him a big name to like compare him to.
Volkanovski's fucked at the moment right now. He has a blood infection or something.
Yeah.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, right after the fight when he was going home, he had to go to the hospital for a blood infection. Don't know what he's been doing in Brazil. Who knows? Maybe they spiked his shit after for beating Aldo. I don't fucking know. Who knows? But, like, it ain't fucking good. But, you know, why has Aldo not thrown any leg kicks? I know guys are expecting it now, but why the fuck wouldn't you throw them? I don't get it. If there was any fight to throw leg kicks, this is the guy, because of his movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why the fuck is he not throwing any? You could argue Frankie Edgar, the takedown threat. Don't throw any. Just counter the whole time. For the rest of the fights, it's like, you should be kicking the fuck out of Max Holloway's leg. Nah, not really.
What about Volkanovski versus Holloway?
Oh, but I mean, that would be the fight, but Volkanovski's not fighting him. Frankie Edgar's getting the next shot.
Just because of the blood condition?
I think so. And that's why I've been...
Well, like, had he not been sick, he'd probably have got a shot.
Yeah, and I think that there's no denying Volkanovski's the next guy, right? Because we're not going to put Ortega back in that spot. Your favorite guy, King, besides Max. But people are so pissed about Frankie getting the title shot.
City.
Everyone's so pissed about Frankie getting the title shot. He doesn't deserve it. And it's like, well, let's be honest, guys.
I think Max trying to join now. Yeah.
What?
I think Max trying to join.
I sent him
I
invites.
sent him an invite.
Yeah, I sent him invites. But, again, like, I look at... Everyone's pissed at Frankie getting the title shot. And it's like, guys, he was the number one contender. He didn't have to put it on the line against Ortega. He did the UFC a solid and did the fans a solid who paid for a fight and paid to see him. He didn't have to. At no point did he. And so he did that. And he lost. Which sucks. He got a win. He beat Cub Swanson, which I know isn't much anymore. But it's at least something. And then now Volkanovski, the next guy, he's out. He has a blood condition, and I'm sure Volkanovski would take the opportunity, but he deserves a full camp for someone like Max Holloway. So why not? Both guys are healthy enough. Max wants a quick turnaround. Frankie's right there. That's the next guy. We haven't seen the fight. What the fuck's the problem with Frankie getting the title shot? Now, if there's a delay and Volkanovski's fresh, sure. Give Volkanovski the title shot. But until then, I'm totally fine with Edgar getting the title shot ahead of him. I'm totally fine with Edgar getting that title shot while Volkanovski's healing up.
We love Edgar.
Definitely. I have no problem with that.
God. Edgar,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him, dude. Edgar's good.
Yeah. Who's the next guy if Volkanovski... Let's say Volkanovski gets injured. Who else do you throw at Max? Edgar was the last... And you can't say that Edgar isn't a threat anymore. He was the number one ranked guy.
Trashker? Is that who we're talking about?
Oh no, we're just talking...
God.
But, I mean, again, he was the number one guy before Ortega beat him. Let's say the Ortega fight doesn't happen. Who else is there? There's Volkanovski, who's fucked at the moment, and Edgar. There's no one else.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one else legitimately in line.
Is there anybody else?
So that covers that fight.
Just got my ass handed to me again. Is there anybody else that wants to hand me my ass?
Could be
I'm holding
Jeff
my
Raven.
ass feed. You want to hand it to me? Anyone else?
Oh my god. Alright, so let's look at Max' favorite
Oh wait,
fight.
what about What about Zabit?
I think he needs that. Who's the beat fight? He's fighting Ortega, right? I want to see that
Yeah.
fight.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I want to see that fight because that's going to be a really good test.
I was going to say, that's someone that they could argue to give
I think
the title shot to.
I think he needs a win, though. If he beats Ortega, that's huge. He could. He has the ability to do it. Whether he has stamina, he gasses.
Rock City, yeah.
But then if it's not a main event, I'd probably favor
Yeah.
Zabit. If it's 3 rounds. If it's 5, I don't know. That might favor Ortega.
Maybe a co-main event on like a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Who knows?
See, that all depends. That's a fight.
Did they announce like what it's going to be on?
I don't know. I think that card's still coming together, if I'm correct. I don't think that's a main event. But who knows? Stranger shit happens.
Is the girl who doesn't cut her toenails fighting soon?
Yes, Megan Anderson is fighting tomorrow against some bum who's flabby and fat and out of shape.
That's who I'm getting at. Let's take a look here. Felicia Spencer. Oh, it looks like she has a good set of tits, Felicia Spencer.
She does, but she's a little flabby, fat,
Sure.
It makes sense she'd have some tits.
Like Mackenzie Dern.
No, she's got saggy tits. She's got no tits.
Yeah, this girl is a little fat.
That's what. Megan looked in really good shape.
Not bad though.
Fucking Aussies. It's spelt Megan, but pronounced
Oh yeah,
Megan.
Megan's in very good shape.
Isn't that
Oh,
weird?
Megan.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Megan.
Fucking Aussies.
Smeagol.
Smeagol?
Smeagol Anderson.
Smeagol Anderson.
It's like, cut your fucking toenails, you nasty pig.
Ant, you kind of sound like you're underwater or in a Mario game in the
Yeah.
water level at the moment, but
Oh.
there. Oh, hey, yeah,
Hang on, let me
That's better, that's
untangle
good, that's
my
good.
earbuds. Give me a minute.
sure.
Oh, it's good?
Yeah. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I only untangled it a little too.
That's all it
Okay.
needs. He came back up for some air.
Very good.
So let's look up Mac's favorite.
I was gonna say
here.
I've lost 12 pounds, by the way,
Good shit.
in 2.5 weeks. Yeah,
My
yeah.
favorite fighter.
Your favorite fight of the night.
I'm trying to lose some weight because I'm pretty much done with powerlifting, and by pretty much done, I'm done competing. I'm just gonna do it for fun.
Well, now, because you blew out a whole bunch of shit the last time you did it too, right?
Oh man, well, it kind of all started about 3 years ago when I tore my left pec. I came very close to being stronger or as strong, but just not the same. And my last competition, I almost died because I lost control of the bar with about 500
God.
pounds on it. And my spotters caught the bar, and it was about 6 inches from my throat. I'll send you guys the video.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Put it in
6
the
inches
chat.
might be generous. It was very
So it's
close
about-
to
it's
coming
about
down across my
penis
neck and
size.
killing me.
Away from
Are you
killing
serious, Ant?
Yeah, about an average cock length away.
So that's like, what, 5.5?
And so you're probably like a quarter of my cock away.
If 5.5 is average. Yeah, I don't know. That's always debated. Is it 5.25 that's average?
I
Is it
don't
6
know.
inches?
I don't know.
Max praying it's 3 inches. I don't know.
Oh, fuck yeah. So speaking of Max Boner, let's talk about the Jared Cannonier Anderson Silva fight because he's been polishing that fucking one for a while.
I only saw highlights of this one. I haven't rewatched it. I haven't watched it fully. I only saw
Anthony
highlights.
loved the outcome of it. I know he did. He's tired of
I
Anderson
did
Silva.
it. That's why I'm not in such a rush to watch it.
Like when I watched the fight, I'm like, okay, Anderson doesn't look terrible, but it's weird because he wasn't moving a lot. But I'm like,
He had his hands up a lot higher than he normally did.
he did.
I noticed that.
And I'm like, okay, he did have that really good kick, and he was throwing some good shots. Like, he looked capable. He didn't look bad. But when I'm watching the fight, I'm like, Cannonier looks like he's a fucking deer in headlights. Like, either he's too focused on Anderson's movements, or he's fucking just, he's pulling a Derek Brunson, or he's, like, caught with stage fright, or he's so focused on Anderson. and it's
He
fucking
seemed
with
somewhat
me.
aggressive. Like he was aggressive.
He
He
was
was like
being the
he was the
aggressor,
one
yeah.
moving forward.
He was moving
Yeah.
forward. Absolutely.
I mean, again, it's the first round, and as I said, it was the first round against the greatest one of the greatest counter strikers ever. I'm sure he didn't want to just rush in.
True.
What did you say?
Well, like Anderson's one of the greatest counter strikers, and that
Counter strikers.
Oh,
that
good,
Cannoneer
good.
didn't want to like just rush in.
I thought Mac was saying Cannoneer was.
Oh,
one
no,
of the
no,
counter
no.
striking. I was like, no, he fucking isn't.
But like,
I'm not saying he's not a good fighter, but he's not one of the
Yeah, he's
greatest
okay.
counter strikers ever.
I never see him becoming champion, but he's a decent fighter. Like,
No, he's in too tough a division.
well, either division. He's not being champion in either. Let's be
Light,
honest.
heavy, middle, whatever he wants to
Heavy,
fight.
middle, light, heavy. I mean, fuck, he ain't doing anything.
Oh,
with any
heavy,
of those.
forget it.
He used to be super heavy. He used to fight heavyweight.
Yeah,
Heavy
he
might
used
be
to
his
fight
best
heavyweight, man.
bet, actually.
Yeah.
Heavyweight might be his best bet just because of the whatever can happen there,
Exactly.
type thing.
Well, the talent level sucks there for the most part, except there's either really shit or elites.
Yeah.
And Derek Lewis is somehow in the middle of all that. But like, watching
Depends if the
them,
fat slob wants to fight or not instead of costing me fucking
60.
DraftKings lineups. Piece of shit. $60. Oh, yeah. He wasted $60 of my dollars just on the pay-per-view, let alone any gambling I
How
did.
much gambling did you waste on him, by the way?
Wait, you
Too
bet
much
on
money.
Derek
He's a
Lewis,
fat
dude?
fuck.
Yeah.
You have to understand.
Come on, dude.
You have to understand. It wasn't that I thought he was a better fighter than Cormier.
No.
It was that the
It was
odds were
just,
so
you
much.
know-
No.
Yes, and for the odds,
How much?
it was worth it.
How much did you lose? You already have
I
60.
lost,
You never asked a
know-
man that, Will. You never asked a
No,
man.
not
Don't
in
use it
age
as
switch.
real
I lost.
either, man.
I lost 60 on the pay-per-view because I wasted my time, and I lost $100.
Okay, so
thinking
160.
he'd win,
It's not,
thinking he could win. No, nothing
Nothing
too
too
crazy,
bad. It's not like fucking
I wouldn't
your
break my
life's
bank.
pull a Tommy
No,
Hearns
it's not like I laid $1,000
yeah.
down or something. But $1,000 would upset
Yeah.
me. I'd be pretty pissed.
I
It's
should
like,
hope
oh,
so.
why did I bet that much?
Just pull a fucking Howard Stern.
Yeah.
It's like,
But 100, it's like, well, honestly, if I went to the bar and fucking watched the fight, it would have ended up costing me that anyway. So,
oh fuck.
Because in New Jersey, New York City area, like a fucking cocktail, $15. So,
Fuck. Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Expensive
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
especially for the New Jersey tap water there. Holy fuck.
Oh God,
So fucking
$8 beer.
oh god. $8 beers.
You're better off having a few friends over and just hanging out. Buy a 6-pack, call it a night. It's like, how are you charging $8 for a beer at some of these places?
People will pay it. They're stupid enough. Like, alright, so Cannoneer's only thing that he did the entire fight was the leg kick. And Anderson didn't check any.
Clearly it worked.
Well, right, but he already had a pre-existing injury apparently. Which, it seemed weird why you wouldn't check it, but then again, Anderson and checking fucking leg kicks have a sordid past, so sure he didn't want to do that again.
Yeah.
And so Cannoneer won. I just found it funny, Max, like, he dummied Anderson, and I'm like, did he, though?
In a sense, you could agree that though.
I can, in a way.
Even Anthony would agree that,
I wouldn't...
So let's see here.
Dummy doodles.
Did he kick him in the leg and then Anderson
He
just
kicked him,
tumbled
like,
over, or
6
was the leg
times.
already
Yes.
hurt?
The leg already
to
was
begin
hurt
with?
in training for the fight, and then
From
Cannoneer kicked it really hard, like 6 times, and Anderson, when he started checking, it was already too late.
So he
Didn't
came
check
in with an
any
injury.
of that shit, dude.
He came in
Like,
with
at
an
the
injury,
end,
right?
Like, he checked one of them. Because then I remember the commentary was like, oh, fuck, he doesn't, like, when Anderson checked it, he was, like, they were like, oh, fuck, makes you not want to kick anyone. Right?
Here's what I'll say. Even though I didn't watch the fight, here's what I'm going to say on it. Like, if Anderson's leg was injured in training and he showed up, got kicked in the leg and went down, no, he didn't get
No, but
done.
he got kicked, like, 6 times
But-
really hard with the pre-existing injury.
Yeah.
But if Anderson's leg wasn't hurt and he came to the fight and Jared
Oh,
kicked
yeah.
him in the leg 6
Yeah,
times and finished
then
him,
he'd be
yeah,
dummy.
he got dummy.
But, like, see, it's kind of in between those.
It's like, yep,
because
you were dummy.
he should have been checking those leg kicks. But
In the end, you're a professional.
Yep.
You know, he chose to get in there
Well,
anyway.
he probably wasn't winning.
Jared won.
And Anderson wants to rematch, and I'm like, Anderson, just fucking retire. Give him Uriah Hall. Let him go off on a win. I love Uriah Hall, but I mean, fuck. He's too inconsistent.
Or off to a coma.
Oh, maybe. One of the two, but it'd be exciting either way. I mean, if Angela Magana can survive a coma, I'm pretty sure fucking Anderson can. 2 comas, actually. Sorry, Angela.
She does have a pretty good ass.
She has a good ass, butterface, and she's a cunt.
Butterface.
I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah, pretty good ass.
Hopefully you learn from it. Karma, motherfucker.
Yeah, how did she end up in a coma?
They over-sedated her.
Drugs, or... Oh my god, it was the hospital's fault?
Well, she's in fucking, like, what, Puerto Rico, where they're eating rats and shit?
Eating rats?
And honestly, I was at Puerto Rico once. A cruise port stopped there. I couldn't wait to fucking get out of there.
It's a shitty place. Don't go to Puerto Rico.
Oh my god, dude. I was like... It was like a red carpet of homeless you're like walking on top of.
As I said, they're eating rats.
People, beggars, fucking... Oh my gosh. The only place I felt remotely safe was inside of a restaurant. They had like some hot like girls modeling for some beer company and shit. And like,
that's the only thing that calmed me down.
Yeah, everyone in there seemed to be at least not homeless, so a little better feeling. And then we left, thank goodness.
Yeah, fuck Puerto Rico.
Couldn't wait to fucking leave there.
I just hope that she learned a valuable lesson to not be a cunt, because it probably will come up to bite her in the ass. Glad she's alive. Hopefully you...
If the hospital did cause her to go into a coma, though, she's going to win a lot of money.
Well, who knows Puerto Rico, though?
Who was it that got put into one?
Angela Magana.
Puerto Rico or not, like, you know what I mean? The hospital...
They might Bruiser Brody
it's probably
her.
government ran, you know?
They might just pull a Bruiser Brody and just stab her when she's in the showers in the fucking back of a locker room. They might just do that. Get away with it.
She should just do porn already,
She
right?
should. I mean,
She
can't fight. She's like she hasn't won since...
Yeah, she can probably sit on a cock pretty decently.
I mean, she's kind of built... That's kind of
let her do
built
porn.
For, right?
Yeah, let her do porn. She'd probably have more success.
She probably would. Let's be honest. It wasn't for her fighting ability she had all the fans that she had.
Yeah.
It wasn't because Cyborg decked her in the
no.
schnoz and fucking... She collapsed like a fucking... Like a beanbag being shot.
Called the police.
Yeah, called the police.
Did she sue her for
I think
that?
she tried and then it got dismissed. Or dropped or whatever the fuck happened. She earned that punch.
Yeah, because honestly, she antagonized him.
Of course she did. Of course.
You know, that's verbal bullying in a way, you know?
Yep. So, I wouldn't say Cannonier dummied Silva, but he definitely won, and Anderson should just retire, because if he's getting injured in training and...
If you think about it, he did what Izzy couldn't do, you know what I mean? So it's like, really.
But I think Izzy was taking it easy on Andy and didn't want to hurt Anderson. You know what I mean? I don't think he went as hard as he could have. I think he just fought him respectfully and was like, all I have to do is win. I don't have to really, you know, I don't have to hurt the guy in order to win. That's probably what he was thinking.
Right.
Because you see their night and day performances. He looks like shit against Anderson, who's like his idol. And then he looks like a fucking monster against Gaston. But then I also said this, and this might play a factor, that when two guys fight with such similar styles, because styles are everything, and I know it's more important in boxing than MMA, because there's so many different ways you can win and lose in MMA, and then it doesn't mean as much, it still means a hell of a lot. And styles, sometimes when you have two guys who have very similar patterns, very similar styles, you almost negate each other and it becomes a completely different fight from what everyone expects. You're not doing your usual shit because your usual shit doesn't work. Because the guy's also doing the same shit. You're fighting a mirror you know.
Like Francis and Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That was the worst fight I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Even
that
the
was like
and everyone thought it was
like,
gonna be a barn burner too. That was the crazy
I
thing.
know.
That was like the Cormier and fucking Mir fight level of bad.
Oh, I've never even seen that fight. That must be how bad that is.
I think there's at least a
Almost
slam,
all of Cormier's heavyweight fights are horrible, though. Most of them are like disastrous.
I wouldn't say that.
Like, oh my god, him and Mir and him and Nelson. Was it Nelson that he fought to?
I think a Mir fight was really shitty. The Nelson fight was okay.
Oh.
But, that's why everyone overrates.
Okay, compared to, I guess, Nagano and Lewis.
Yeah, way better. It's like night and day. But still, like, I mean, like when he fought Barnett, that was great. He slammed Barnett. He fucking knocked out big Slob Silva.
yeah. He fucking laid him out.
With his big fucking
and he started
head.
hammering on him when he fell down,
I know,
too.
like he was hammering in a nail. Big fucking head on that nail.
Oh my god.
I mean, fuck, it looked like he's fighting a fucking tumor the whole time. Maybe it's a metaphor for beating cancer, I don't know.
Oh.
Fucking.
Does Big Slow Silva still fight?
I don't know. He definitely can't fight without TRT and shit.
Yeah.
He looks like garbage since they got rid of that. But yeah, I mean.
Big Slow Silva.
Well, and that's why I think I don't think everyone's expecting the Usman Covington fight to be super close. I think it's going to be more competitive because of the mirror match thing. They're both really good wrestlers. They're strong. Definitely Usman is stronger. But we'll see. He's mentally weaker than Colby in a way. Where I know Colby has more toughness. And not that Usman isn't tough, but it's that Usman can be broken, like mentally wise.
You think?
Oh yeah, that's why he went after.
Which fight did that happen?
It hasn't happened.
Yeah, that's
yet.
what I'm trying to figure out.
But I mean, you can see all the backstage stuff though. Like he went after.
Where he has lost though. But...
No, but I mean, like you look at like Ben Askren was able to get under his skin, and he charged Ben Askren for doing nothing. And like he fucking went after Colby over and over again. It's like you do that enough times to a guy, you can throw a guy to where he just wants to knock you out, where just wrestling at you isn't enough. And if you can take a guy out of their game and out of their comfort zone, I wonder if they fight the same way. You know what I mean? Where someone is mentally weaker. Like Tyron, you can mentally break in the middle of a fight, which is what Usman did to him. The second you give Tyron no hope and you win a few rounds, he's nothing. He falls apart on the stool. It happened during the Rory fight.
Right.
It happened, they're not the same guy. Jose Aldo fought like a complete blithering retard when he fought Conor because he just wanted to knock him out. He didn't use any leg kicks, no strategy, left himself open to that left punch. It's, there's a lot for guys being mentally strong and mentally weak. There's a big thing for that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not
think
convinced.
Moose kills him.
He might. He very well could. It's a definite possibility. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. Because, you look at the size of Usman, it's hard to get over that.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, they're both wrestlers who are both wrestling heavy. Usman doesn't throw a lot of strikes, generally. He throws some. He's got power. Unquestionably, he's got power. And Colby's striking is kind of piss poor as well. His strength is the wrestling.
Yeah.
But...
And Usman's like double Kobe's size.
And strength does play a factor in grappling. But
it's much bigger.
It just depends. If Colby is a better wrestler for MMA than... I mean, you could say that about Cormier should be the better wrestler than John Jones. But MMA wrestling and using the wrestling in that sport in those ways, it's what makes you more dangerous. So it's kind of hard to tell, right? It's kind of hard to tell until they get in there what kind of fight. But that's kind of how I saw the Izzy-Anderson fight. It's like they're fighting each other. They're fighting themselves in a weird way. Just one's older and flabbier than the other. Now let's get to the main event. And I know me and Detox got into it in the chat, so We'll get it all into that. But first, I want to get everyone's opinion on that fight first, before me and Detox can get into it, into the podcast here. So,
which fight are we talking?
Andrade Namajunas. So, Mac, what did you think watching that fight?
I thought Rose was looking good, but
Absolutely.
As I said before, and I've said again, the lesbians are taking over. So I knew Andrade was gonna win.
Got that
You know,
more testosterone or less estrogen or something. Who fucking knows? They're fucking, the butch ladies are going for it, man.
right?
Although
Exactly.
Valentina's the exception. One of the goddesses of MMA. She's hot.
Who's that?
Valentina. She's fucking hot, man. She's very fit.
Oh, yes.
Very fit. When she's not fighting, she's super fit. Like, and
Very
not
hot.
in just the athletic way. Fit as in, holy fuck. Hot.
Yeah, I love Valentina.
Valentina's, fuck. That might be my number one, hottest fighter I'd take over almost anyone. It's a weird thing,
He's
though.
one of the hottest, definitely.
Respect level wise, she's so talented, super nice, very humble. What's not to like? Fuck, and then she's smoking too. Jeez. But like,
Man's busting nuts.
What's that?
oh, he's just like,
He said Will's probably been busting
oh,
nuts.
probably. If I already haven't already, I better check. So King.
Who are we kidding? We know you have. No.
What's that?
Shit.
Namajunas Andrade. I know you haven't watched all the fights. You probably just saw the highlights, but
Yeah.
thoughts?
I mean,
Like, what were your guys' predictions going in?
I like Thug Rose and all, but yeah, I knew she was done.
I
You
said
know,
the
I
same
knew this
thing.
was a bad matchup.
I said the same thing.
I
after
like
she
Thug,
won.
you know,
When she beat Joanna,
but
I said the same thing.
I had a feeling Andrade was gonna kick her ass.
I thought Andrade was. I don't know. I thought Andrade was gonna give her a hard time, but after watching the fight, if I were to ever predict that fight again, like a rematch, I'd definitely pick Rose, no doubt.
Mac, what was your prediction going in?
Lesbians always win.
How come Tisha Torres isn't good enough, though? Yeah, she's only a half lesbian.
Yeah, exactly.
The tiny
Now,
whore.
She's a hybrid.
What I said was that after, I predicted Rose was going to beat Joanna. I didn't expect by knockout, but I predicted that. I predicted by submission. I thought she might get her down and taps her out. I was very surprised, and then of course I favored Rose in the rematch, and I predicted a decision, which I was correct, but it didn't go exactly the way I thought. I was like, right away after Rose won, I'm like, I was examining, because I do this after every title change. I'm like, who's the worst person this person could match up against? And I'm breaking down the styles, and I'm like, Andrade. Andrade has got to be the worst matchup, because at least with Joanna, like, Joanna's only good in one aspect of fighting, to be honest. And that's the striking. She's tough, she's a champion, she has the mentality, but her realm is the striking realm. And Rose being faster and always being one step ahead of Joanna always made me, like, when I saw that, I was shocked at how good Rose's hands were. They're better than I thought they were. And I was like, wow, her movement's really good. And in the second fight, of course, I favored Rose, because I'm like, she's always a step ahead. No weight cut's going to stop that from happening. She's always going to be one step ahead. And Joanna couldn't adjust to it. But when I was examining the fight, I'm like, well, Rose doesn't have a lot of options against Andrade. She can't go to the ground with her. That's a 50-50 flip on just who's going to tap who out, especially if it's early in the fight, because someone that strong, grappling-wise and submission-wise, you don't want to be grappling with that person early on until they're tired. So, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm just examining it, and I'm like, Andrade is tough enough to eat Rose's best shots, at least punch-wise, and not get hurt. I mean, this woman used to fight at 135. She's tough as fuck. She ate all of them except for, like, Liz Carmouche early on. It's the only fight.
The smelly douche.
The smelly douche was the only one who actually did anything against Andrade. And I'm like, if she's used to fighting these much bigger, thicker, more powerful women, that's why I didn't think Joanna was going to rock her either, and she didn't really. But Joanna was able to keep well ahead because of the variety of her strikes. She throws the leg kicks, even though, you know, because that's her realm, is that distance management. She only knows the striking. When I was breaking down the fight in my head, I was like, I don't think Rose has enough composure and isn't going to manage the distance well enough to keep away from Andrade 5 rounds. So that's kind of, I didn't expect a slam knockout. I don't think anyone did. I mean, maybe we should have, but I mean, how many slam knockouts besides Rampage and Arona or Frank Shamrock and Igor Zinoviev are like the only 2 that come to mind where it resulted in a finish? Like, how many times, like, the Randleman Fedor fight should have probably ended there, but, you know, Fedor was fucking tough as nails. Like, how many, so no one, I don't think, legitimately is predicting a slam knockout, but I'm like, I just figured, I wasn't sure if Andrade would leg kick her as much as she did. I obviously thought she should. I wasn't banking on it, though, because I'm like, well, we'll see. She's got the legs for it. I just thought Rose would lose her composure, which she kind of did at one point in the first round, and just start kind of slugging it out. Like, where Andrade is so good at that, where she'll find a way in, and then you're slugging with her, and you're not supposed to be. Like what happened with Carolina, just got her right off the bat, and she was slugging with her when she shouldn't have been. And the power at that weight class, I'm like, fuck, all she needs is one of those punches to land clean enough, either hand. And I'm like, I don't see, Rose could do that for 5 rounds and run the gamut. I just don't see her having enough experience, variety, or composure to do it. So I predicted Andrade would knock her out probably in the 3rd or 4th, depending. And then when I watch the fight, I'm watching the fight, and Rose looks good. Which, again, I was watching The Weasel and other people break down the fights, Dan Hardy and them, and I'm like, but they're all really favoring Rose, and I'm like, I get why. It's just, I'm like, I don't know if she's, I think maybe some people are overestimating here, or using MMA math where, oh, well, since Rose beat Joanna, of course she'll win, you know, even though it's totally 2 different styles. Because I'm like, Rose has to keep this on the distance, has to keep away, and has to keep her at bay for 5 rounds. I don't see her doing it. Now, as soon as the fight starts, Rose is the aggressor, which took me by surprise. I thought Jessica was going to come running. It's her hometown. And Jessica started slow. And Rose started fast. And looked good. Like, the first half of that first round, Rose was looking good. And I'm like, wow, she's already cut her, which I was surprised at. And it was a bad cut. Like, that is a bad place to get a cut. Like, if there's going to be a fight stoppage, that fucking cut, if not handled properly, definitely could be. We've seen fights stop for less for that. And that thing's only going to get worse because of where it is. It's on the lid. And I'm like, oh, well, this just changes things. Now there's a second way Rose could possibly win, maybe by doctor stoppage if it gets later in the fight. So I was wary of that at first. But as the fight kept going, and I'm like, Rose is doing a really good job with her movement, blah, blah, blah. But then these leg kicks, I kept seeing these really rough fucking leg kicks happening. And I'm like, good, Jessica's throwing the leg kicks. Because she's not worried about the grappling. Obviously. She threw her. She's not so worried. I did get worried about the submission. Because I'm like, well, if she does throw Rose, that's a possibility. Rose could get a sub off. I just don't see Rose really getting her to the ground and keeping her there. But then they went back up to their feet. And again, Rose definitely was winning the fight and was winning the first round. But with every exchange, and as these leg kicks kept piling up in the first round, where she only threw like I think 5 or 6, but they were fucking really bad. I just started noticing Rose started slugging with her a couple points near the end of the round in the last minute. And in that last minute specifically, I kept seeing Jessica getting closer with these shots. Whereas before, Rose would reset and she would move so far out of range and circle, Jessica had to fucking keep chasing her. Where she was so far out of range, you could see these punches coming from a mile away. And at the end of the round, seeing where they kept resetting and Jessica's getting ever so close. Closer and closer and closer with each exchange. And I'm like, oh, okay. This is where I said it out loud when I was watching the pay-per-view. I was like, guys, I'm like, I think this is the beginning of the end, and I think there's 2 rounds left. I think maybe there's, at best, 2 to 3 rounds. I'm going with 3rd round, and Mac just left. Oh, didn't really contribute much anyway. So I was like, well, it's true. At least this podcast. So I was just like, well, Rose is coming out, and I looked at Jessica's face. They took really good care of that cut, so I wasn't worried about it. But it was just like, I kept seeing that, and I'm like, well, if she's throwing this many leg kicks, and Rose is slowing down this much, it's probably an indicator. And then in the second round, we saw Rose with a bit of movement, but then I kept seeing the same thing. And so while everyone was so busy looking at Rose and how good she looked, which she did, I mean, she caught her with that knee and kind of stumbled her and made her fall. But then Rose stood up and kept on feet, which was smart. I'm like, she's not going to finish Jessica with punches. I don't see it happening. A head kick or a knee, I definitely think Rose could do it. But not with punches. Jessica just eats punches and keeps coming forward, which isn't smart. But
like, you can't win that does, just because Rose can't finish her doesn't mean she can't win. You know what I'm saying?
I know. So, I agree. I'm just saying, I just don't see her be able to control the distance like Joanna was able to. Joanna was able to throw leg kicks and slow her down.
Look at the first round of the fight, dude. She was popping her, dude.
Absolutely.
Like, she was hitting her consistently and accurately, busting her face up. So, like, I don't even see how. I don't know.
Again,
like,
I looked at the progression of it, like where she was resetting, and then where Rose was kind of sitting at the end of that round. And again, definitely Rose's round and was winning handedly. But what that fight reminded me of was like Meldrick Taylor, Julio Cesar Chavez, where Meldrick Taylor's ahead on everyone's scorecards in boxing, right? It's a huge fight. You know, they're both undefeated. And he's winning, and he's handedly winning. But what everyone's not, and while everyone's watching Meldrick Taylor land these fantastic shots that are winning and scoring, but they're not doing much to Chavez. Chavez is landing these thudding fucking shots, and he's eating 6 shots to land that one devastating one. But slowly but surely, at the end of that fight, Chavez threw that shot, and now it had power because he's gotten so abused. And that's kind of what I saw with this fight, because Jessica kept landing these fucking leg kicks. And as I said, the reason why I said that, and why I thought it was the beginning of the end, was because Rose's movement went from being so dynamic and fast, and like really, she was able to shift her weight so easily, to being standing not in front, but it had slowed enough to where Jessica's getting closer with every strike. And then seeing where she was going in the second round, that she was basically a stationary target. She could move if she had to, but now she's kind of standing in front of Jessica, which is the worst place for Rose. I don't think Rose could take
I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree that the leg kicks had that much impact at that point in the fight. Like, I don't think that.
She then
maybe she slowed down. Maybe she slowed down a bit, but like, I don't think it it was by I don't recall it being that drastic because when I was watching the second round, I still felt like she was still popping her just as effectively. The only difference was that, I mean, she would get caught up in the clinch every once in a while, and like, yeah, she was eating leg kicks, but they didn't seem like they were causing that much damage to me personally. Like when I was watching it, it just really didn't seem like they were having that much of an effect. Honestly, the fight was smooth. Like it seemed like it was going in fucking Rose's favor the whole time up until she got slammed. Literally, like that's how I seen that fight. So like. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible that Andrade could win. I'm just saying, like, after watching that performance, like, I'm definitely gonna pick Rose if they have a rematch. Because, like, I mean, she was clearly winning that fight, in my opinion.
She was clearly winning that fight, but the thing that made me think that was because...
you're seeing, like, her slow down.
I'm seeing that
stuff,
slow
right?
progression. Like, I'm seeing that slow progression of where she was moving and how well she was moving, and now I'm watching her stay within a couple of feet of Andrade, which is the worst place. And what I'm seeing is that with where Jessica was not even close to hitting her, she was so far out of range. Jessica with her T-Rex arm still couldn't get near her. And then where I see her in the second fight, now she's backpedaling and Andrade is getting closer with every strike. I'm just seeing this, and while again, I don't think it's like Anderson, like her leg was going to collapse and fall apart like Anderson's. It affected her movement enough where I was like, wow, she's falling apart faster than a lot of people.
Another thing is, like, I personally feel like, I don't know, the more damage you take in the fight, the less effective you're going to be, period, whether that's to your leg, to your head, or to your body. And so for Rose to be landing that much strikes in the first round and then going into the second still consistently landing head strikes,
about the same amount
like,
of
I mean,
with the first round, but it's because
yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you want to include all the strikes, how many of them were leg kicks, you know what I'm saying? Compared to Rose's.
Of course. And Rose was doing
And look at their faces. Look at Rose's face. She literally has like a bruise on her
though.
Chin from the slam.
Right, but that argument...
You know what I'm saying? I don't either, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, I know, I feel you. Like, I'm the same way. Like, GSP gets torn the fuck apart, and he's my favorite fighter, so I hate when people bring that up. But the reality is, she really didn't touch her face.
No,
I mean,
I agree with that.
I don't think Rose is right. But, so like what I'm saying is like when you're getting hit in the head that many times, like what's more likely to happen? What happened to her when she fought Joanna, where pretty much she just kept getting tagged. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The whole entire fight.
I don't see Rose having necessarily the finishing power. I can see Rose definitely winning on score. Like let's say they were just boxing. Right? Obviously, Rose would win that. But when I saw the leg kicks were doing, I was seeing her be stationary, and I just didn't see a very good path to victory. Like, because I know Jessica can take it. Like, that's the thing. Like, I know Jessica's chin is battle-tested, where it hasn't really faltered in 20-something fights, and she's the more experienced out of the two.
So she's just gonna eat all. She's just no way for her to possibly get finished. Even though she was getting, she was getting outclassed on the feet.
Yeah, but
pretty
I just
clearly.
don't think Rose has enough stopping power in the shots to finish her with those.
Right. But accumulative damage, I mean, look what happened. Sometimes it's accumulative damage. Sometimes a fighter can fold due to just the amount of damage they've sustained.
Joanna, I thought, did a...
I mean, Rory and Robbie, you know what I'm saying? It's not like Robbie knocked him out. He just had too much.
But Robbie actually has power with his shots. Like, I wasn't worried that... I mean, I wasn't worried about Rory's punches hurting Robbie necessarily. It was the head kick. Right, like Rory doesn't necessarily carry stopping power in his hands necessarily. It's more or less, it's like the kicks. It's, you know what I mean? He can, but it's not like what he's known for. Whereas Robbie is known for these power shots. So it makes sense where, Rory's chin is kind of, he's a bit chinny. We saw that in the Condit fight and a few others. But the thing is, it's like, I looked at the fight and I'm like, I just see Andrade getting closer like a shark, just kind of getting ever so closer. And with Rose's legs being compromised, even if she started checking the leg kicks, it's costing, it's a cost that she's already going to be worse for wear if she starts checking them now. Their legs already fucked in a way. Like, she's not stopping due to cardio. She looked great. She looked in shape. And we've seen Andrade go that pace for 5 rounds against Joanna, and especially with 20 less pounds on her. I just saw that with every combination, I saw Jessica getting ever so much closer, and with the fight going the way it was going, where Rose was able to stay away, she really wasn't. I'm like, wow, Rose is going to have to stand in the pocket. We're going to get a Carolina moment where, because we did see her break a couple of times where she started slugging with Andrade. We're going to see that eventually. It made more sense to me that that's kind of more or less the fight would be Rose having to either shoot for takedowns, get the fight to the ground, or get a submission some way, or throw something surprise out of nowhere, because she can't stand in the pocket with this chick. That's death. Like, I don't think there's anyone in that weight class. Like, even Joanna didn't stand in the pocket with Jessica. They're going to get knocked the fuck out if they do. She hits too hard. Her power, like, I can't think of another one-hitter quitter in that division. Like, even Joanna's a combo.
I don't know. I've watched quite a few Andrade fights, and I mean, she hits hard, but man, it's not that consistent where she's just knocking people out.
I
Like,
agree.
it's not like she's out here just knocking people the fuck out left and right.
Punches and not been able to finish the job.
Mm-hmm.
And that could happen. I didn't see a good way for Rose to win that. And you would think that she would just start checking leg kicks after what Joanna did. But maybe she didn't expect Jessica, because even I was surprised Jessica, because I wasn't sure if she would or not throw as many leg kicks. So, and Rose is a mentally weak fighter. I hate to say that because she's so fucking talented and so good, and she is the better technical fighter. She has way better technical boxing, and way slicker on the ground. But sometimes that brute force, and not that Jessica's unskilled, she is. But it's that strength that kind of carries the day. And she's so tough. And mentally tough. Whereas Rose is like a mentally weak fighter. You know what I mean? She can get affected. So I just didn't see a very good path to victory for Rose winning that fight. And I kind of figured it would go that way. But
like, you're saying that, and she was winning the fight. That's the funniest thing.
But I kind of predicted that, though. I didn't think Jessica would just dominate her. I thought eventually, like, my prediction was that Rose would look good early on, but that she couldn't stay away from Jessica's power eventually, and that probably Jessica's power would find a home because Joanna was so dialed in. Like when Rose hurt Joanna, dropped her for the first time in the first fight, she got bloodthirsty and then had to calm herself down. She went for a couple of bad exchanges there with Joanna, where if Joanna maybe was a little bit more reticent, she would have been like on point to hit her and hurt her. But then Rose kind of calmed herself down and became more tactful again. She didn't take those risks. I saw Joanna being very composed the entire fight because she had to be, and I saw Rose. I didn't think Rose would have the same composure, and I thought that that's what would allow Jessica to get in.
I don't know, dude. There's times where Rose dodged like 15 punches from Jessica, and Jessica was charging her, trying to just hit her with a flurry.
True, but there's 2 very big instances in the first round where all she had to do was just not have the same level of mobility. Jessica's right there, and she's exchanging with her. Like, look at Carolina. Carolina should have been able to stay at a distance and use her superior striking. Like, she doesn't have the power, but she has the technique. But she was.
But like, I mean, you can have amazingly superior striking, but like, what's the chances of you entering a fight, right? And you're the long range fighter, and you're just never gonna get in an exchange. No. Like, obviously, there's gonna be moments in the fight where you're gonna end up in situations where it's not in your favor.
But it's not scrapping with someone like that if you don't have to. Like, Carolina didn't have to, but she got hurt right off the bat. and was fucked within the first 10 seconds of the fight and was fighting for her life. She wasn't thinking because she was getting swarmed. And I didn't see Rose having the same level of composure, whereas Joanna was lightning composed that whole fight to just keep her at bay, leg kick her, and she even got into a few exchanges too with Jessica and didn't in the first round didn't look very good for Joanna. But then she weathered the storm and came back. I just didn't think Rose was going to be able to do that exact same thing like a lot of people predicted Rose would. Like she'd be able to do this for 5 rounds consistently. I didn't see that. I just saw Rose eventually making, because again, she's not like she's a striking, like, you know, end all be all of striking. She's really good. She lacks variety though. And that variety is what she needs. Because if she threw leg kicks, oh shit, something's going on. What the fuck? See, this is why people buy a PlayStation or a computer. Don't buy a crap. Okay. Oh, now I'm connecting. Oh. I'm connected now. Don't buy a shit box. Buy a PlayStation if you want an actual good console. It's got VR. Oh. I mean, I'm the party leader. All right, there. Holy fuck. Fucking shit box.
Yeah, shit disconnect.
Yeah, I know. You guys got connected.
Yeah,
first.
I was saying.
But like.
I hope we see a rematch, but I know Rose has been saying, like, she doesn't know if she wants to fight, or she wants to do something else right now, so we're probably not going to see.
Since Khabib became the champion, when he beat Ai Kinta. That's another problem. I didn't think that'd affect her. I think it's a style thing. That's why I always favored Andrade, and I think I'd favor Andrade in the rematch, because then... Now that this is where Rose, if she does come back, she needs more variety. She can't just have boxing, and she needs to be able to check the leg kicks. She needs to offer something different. Because again, there will be fighters that you can't put out with punches and you can't always get away from. So if you give them something else to worry about, like if you threw leg kicks and you started Muay Thai-ing people, now they have something to keep at bay. I don't want to engage with that person. They'll fuck my legs up. They'll throw this kind of technique or do this. And that's where I didn't see enough variety from Rose. Like Joanna has a lot more.
I don't know, I feel like I've seen variety from Rose, but not in that fight. Like when it comes to kicks and stuff, but wasn't she like a black, isn't she like in Taekwondo or something?
She threw some Taekwondo kicks in the fight. Right. It's just, but Taekwondo kicks aren't low kicks, because you're not allowed to low kick in Taekwondo. Right. They're all head kicks. And again, it's something that she is good at throwing, is the head kicks. Maybe she should have set them up a lot better. She might have done a lot better, but I think she needs something for other people to worry about.
I don't know, she was having success that whole fight,
yeah,
bro, I'm telling you.
I'm just saying, well, everyone was watching.
She wasn't really doing anything bad, honestly.
She wasn't, but I mean,
sure, you can fucking always make improvements, but man, I mean, ask anybody, like, they're gonna say she was winning that fight.
Well, even I say she was winning that fight, but for me, it wasn't like whoever wins the early part of, it's the tortoise versus the hare. Was kind of what it was kind of at for me in my prediction. I was like, well, Rose will definitely win early. She's fresher. You know, we have some questions about her cardio as well. I mean, we've seen her go 5 rounds, but how many times? Not very often. Not like she gasses out or anything.
This is just like one of those situations where, like, somebody gets knocked out really early, so you're like, oh, I wish I knew how they did in like a full fight, you know, like kind of like when Rose knocked out Joanna. It was like
we didn't get enough glimpses.
Yeah.
But like, even the glimpses that we got, I would favor Andrade again, just the mental strength. As I said, Rose would have to run the entire board from beginning to end and not take those risks as much as she kind of did. You know, because I was like, man, you can't be on the fence with this woman. You can't really grapple early with this woman either. Maybe if Jessica blows her wad and she's done, grapple with her. Absolutely. Until then, stay the fuck out of the grappling with that woman. Because I'm like, she slams people like nothing. It doesn't matter what weight class. It's just like, fuck. You know, and that was a thing.
Yeah, she's ridiculously strong.
Way too strong. But she's 5'2". 5'1.5". So I mean, it makes
Like,
sense.
I didn't know who to choose going into the fight because Jessica's just such a savage.
She is, and
Um,
you know what pisses me off though,
but
is when people absolutely will say it was a fluke win, like what Bisping said, or it was fucking like, what was another one? Oh, that Jessica tapped, and I'm like, to what?
oh, Bisping said it was a fluke.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck you, Bisping. After what happened with you and Rockhold, you're one to talk. Where Rockhold's so overconfident, he drops his hands and starts fighting like he's Cody Garbrandt, where he just drops his hands and keeps his hands low. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. He beat you before. Maybe he'll do it maybe if he wasn't fucking around, and I don't know. Fluke wins. Who fucking, who knows? Bisping was way better than people gave him credit for, but it's kind of funny to hear that shit from him. I'm like, I don't know. That Matt Hamill fight, I don't know about that one. So I don't know. I just was pissed off because I'm like, that's not.
It was definitely a weird. It was a weird situation.
It definitely was.
It was a weird.
And then people were trying to say it was a spike. I was so annoyed at that.
Right.
And I'm like,
well, like, it was Rose's fault, really, because she kept holding
Is
on
a
to the
spike
cord,
allowed?
No.
No,
You're
it's
not allowed
not.
to pull a Brock Lesnar hardcore Holly where you just slam the person on their fucking head on purpose. But if it has
And their nicknames
Did she
Pile
do that,
Driver,
or-
Portuguese, and shit.
But if you arc your slam...
Did she do that, though?
No, she arced her slam, and it was Rose trying to go for a Kimura grip that fucked her over. She held on.
He was,
All she had to do was let go.
I think John McCarthy said something like, if you're essentially doing a slam to defend from a submission, like, I think he said, like, anything's legal, pretty much.
So.
Like, if you're trying to defend, because at that point, the person can let go, I think, is the logic behind that.
They don't have to
like, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to, keep themselves in that position.
If that wasn't
Which, that's what happened to, like, all she really had to do is just let go.
She ended up on her back.
Whatever, but yeah,
it worked the first 2 times, though. It stopped the first two
first
slams.
2 times, yeah.
It helped her. But, like, Jessica made the perfect adjustment by breaking and separating her hands and then getting her head to the outside before she got the slam, like, when the slam off. I was just like, oh, shit. And I was hoping...
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
I was hoping Mac would be in here.
I was kind of scared at first. I was like, whoa, what did I fucking just see? Did somebody just die? Like,
it was over so quick, and I thought it was over because I thought that she landed on her fucking head. And I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, oh, maybe she's okay. Nope, she's
it looked pretty nasty.
People missed it.
Like, the first time.
Everyone missed how fast it was over.
Shook.
They're like, oh, it's clinch. I'm going to look down at my phone. They look back up. And Rose is knocked out, and I can't believe it. Because, again, she put on a year... It doesn't matter if she's a year out or whatever. Great performance for her until that slam. It's just, while everyone's watching that, I'm watching it something different. But again, we've already talked about that. But still, it just...
We'll just have to see what happens next time they meet.
And it's not like Jessica's unbeatable.
Never meet again.
You can definitely beat her. And the time to beat her is right away because she's still young enough. Both of them are still young enough. They can learn new tricks and get better. I see Rose not being mentally strong. And I hate to confirm what Joanna said about Rose in their lead up to their fight. It's kind of true.
I mean, whatever,
I'm a
man.
Rose
She
fan.
whooped Joanna's ass
She
twice.
did,
so fucking
right?
get the fuck out of here, Joanna, talking about mentally weak. You can't fucking beat a mentally weak person. Well, what does that make you?
Exactly. You know what I mean? But I do know what she means.
Yeah.
And she thought she could just intimidate her, and that's not going to work. But Rose was fucked right from that fucking dolly going through the window. She's been fucked since then.
She has PTSD.
Like, that's just not something that you want to hear from...
Mid-fight, she just fucking...
Someone throws a dolly into the octagon.
Sees visions of Connor in her head. She's visions of Connor's face just in her fucking head. Screaming.
Smash the windows. Jesus Christ.
It's number one bullshit.
All right, what do you guys think of Kevin Lee versus Rafael dos Anjos? Who do you have?
Man, I seen the face-offs. I think Kevin Lee's in the zone, bro.
He's in really
I
good
think
shape.
he's gonna win.
170.
Yeah.
King, I know you're a humongous
He
Kevin
looks
Lee fan.
mentally prepared.
Yeah.
Your favorite. Right after Max Fuckboy Holloway.
Oh, and I hate saying this. I think the Motown Phenom's gonna win.
Yeah, I have to favor Kevin Lee, but I'm not very happy about it.
He's gonna win a good decision, you
Yeah.
know, like a solid
I
performance.
hope RDA beats him, but I have no faith in RDA.
Oh yeah, I hope RDA kicks him in the throat, stands over him, and watches him die. Like,
But still.
Chung Lee style.
Oh
That's
yeah, blood sport.
for all the crybabies out there. That's just a quote from Ray Jackson. He's telling Van Damme about one of Chung Lee's fights, and he said he kicks the poor bastard right in the throat, and he just stands there and watches him die.
Yeah, I don't know. Kevin Lee looks really filled out, but he's mentally weak too. Like, he thought he beat Ally Quinta twice, and I'm like, you fucking muppet. You're not beating Raging Al. I don't know. I don't see him being a force, but I think he might have enough to beat RDA. It depends.
Yeah.
And RDA is a good wrestler. So, I don't know. Kevin Lee should win this fight. If Kevin Lee doesn't, Kevin Lee's a bum. And is super overhyped. But right now, I'd say his hype is legitimate. And he'll probably win this fight pretty handedly. I'm going to go solid 4 rounds to 1, maybe a 3-2. But definitively Kevin Lee. Actually, there was one... I invited Mac back in because I wanted to cover one topic with him that really annoyed me when we were discussing this in the chat. And he fucking hates Dominick Cruz. Which, you know, people can hate whoever the fuck they want to hate. I have no problem with that. What I have
Sure.
a problem with is when people...
I hate Max Holloway.
Exactly. I hate Angela Magana, and I don't like Deontay Wilder. Fuck Beyonce Wilder. You know, but when I look at it, like Mac hates Cruz, but then he's willing to like believe any of this disingenuous information, and people have this retarded idea that they misinterpret what Dominick Cruz says. Like, oh, you can't slam this person out of this position. It's like, well, right, and he did say that. He did say Andrade can't slam Rose, but it wasn't because it's like, oh, she can't physically slam her. It's the fact that she has the Kimura grip, like meaning she shouldn't slam her. You can't do that. You can. It's just not advised because we saw what happened last time, and what usually happens when someone has a Kimura grip and a slam. But at the end of the pay-per-view, he explained everything. He's like, yeah, well, Jessica showed me something tonight, and I was wrong, and here's why, and explained how he was wrong. It was like when, like Detox. It was like when Mac kept like annoying me with the fucking McGregor thing and Cruz. You know, where he...
What happened with it?
Well, remember in the fight, the second round, Dominick Cruz was like, why isn't he trying to stand up, and that maybe he's trying to tire Khabib out, and Rogan's like, I don't think he's doing that, I think he's just getting smashed, and it's like... But then the next...
Oh, yeah, Rogan is so annoying.
He is.
Holy shit.
I'm glad Dominic puts him in his place. Like, Detox, what did you think of that
I
comment?
think he's just getting smashed.
Detox?
Did we lose him?
I don't know. It's probably AFK. But still, like, it annoyed me that, like, and then Kavanaugh was like, no, that was the plan. Now, of course, the plan wasn't to get dropped and almost fucking finished kind of thing. It wasn't to have Herb Dean almost come in. But the idea was that you don't have, but that since Khabib is so good at ripping down his opponents, that you don't waste energy. You need your energy. Especially Conor with his fast twitch kind of reactions. You need all the energy and snap you can have. So it makes sense to just kind of let Khabib get the round don't waste any energy trying to get back up to your feet, because he'll rip you down and break you and ruin your cardio. And Conor already has enough cardio issues. So it was a very ingenious way to not take damage and to let Khabib wear himself out. And especially because they didn't expect Khabib just to wrestle him. They expected him to throw punches and just protect. So when Conor's hurt and he's getting smashed, yeah, he's getting smashed, but he's kind of rolling to recover. He's kind of doing the old Brock Lesnar, Shane Carwin defense, which worked well enough before. He's doing that kind of defense where he's kicking his legs and he's moving, and again, maybe not the best spot to be doing it in, but this is a different kind of wrestler. And again, I think that what Dominick said was generally true, that what was the idea, was to not waste any energy trying to get up unless you have to, kind of thing. Let him wear himself out, which it looks like that was the plan, because then look at Conor come back in the third round. Look at how well he turned.
Yeah.
He looked good. He had a little bit more pop than I expected, especially after that round.
I thought Conor came into the fight in shape, but he always has, well, I shouldn't say always, but he's known to not have the best cardio or endurance, if you will.
I think that there's a cost for that power that he has, that reaction time, snap punches.
With that said, I think he always comes in shape.
Yeah. Well, he comes in shape. It's just I think that there's a cost. Like Tyquill has a cost for having those big power, early kind of moments. There's a cost. There's a cost to certain strikes like that.
I think it might have also cost Conor in the degree that he's afraid to burn himself out. Like, I think against Khabib and I think against Floyd, those are two guys he probably could have knocked out if he went in there guns a-blazing just looking for the knockout in the first couple of rounds.
Probably.
I think that's what he should have done against guys like that. Because they had a bigger skill set, but Conor has the type of punches and kicks. Well, obviously he can use his kicks against Floyd. But, you know what I mean? He has that kind of precision where he could just lay anyone on this earth out in that weight class.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, he should have went in there and just said, fuck it. I'm just going to lay these guys out, and done it and took care of business.
Yeah. I mean, that's his best bet against Floyd, for sure. He's not going to win a decision. Better go for the knockout.
Yeah.
And his chances...
Yeah, no, he wasn't going to outbox him.
No, absolutely. Here, just 1 sec. I'm just going to change my batteries here. 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. Batteries in.
There we go.
Fucking A. Detox just smoking, so that's all good with me. Alright, so now that I got this. Yeah, it definitely did cost Conor, I think. I think his best strategy would be just to go out there and take care of business, but, and, he did kind of allude to that they were a little too defensive, but, I mean, for good reason. A specialist, it's, you never know. But, they tried to go for the smart strategy. There's not many strategies for Conor. That's like the worst matchup for him, I'd say, is Khabib. Or someone he could probably clip, like Tony, he'd probably put out. It's just that equalizer, like where Conor has that one-hitter quitter at every point in that fight. Khabib's fucking ground and pound and that wrestling ability to break people is so difficult to... Like, if he gets you once, it might be enough to break you for the rest of the fight. But Conor, to be honest, besides Iaquinta, Conor did amazingly well, not taking heaps amount of damage.
Yo.
Yeah, I mean, it's Khabib. I mean, no one's beat him.
Yep.
So, I mean, does this make him, like, worth anything less? I don't
that
think
was
so.
the funny
I mean,
thing. So
he wasn't undefeated before this fight. I think if Conor was undefeated before he entered this fight,
a lot, yeah.
maybe then
Maybe he might have more
it
confidence.
derails a bit of hype.
Yeah.
But he's already
Yeah,
lost.
he has.
It's normal. I've lost before. It's normal.
He's normal.
He's a normal guy. Normal guy.
What do you guys think of the
It's the
Tony
guy.
Cowboy fight? The Ferguson Cowboy fight that's happening soon. Isn't that the next one?
Well, I can't doubt Cowboy
I
ever
like
again.
the fight. I mean, shit, it's happening in a month. Like,
Something like
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Cowboy by beatdown, I guess.
might.
That's my opinion.
That's the thing.
I mean,
I can't doubt it
I
ever
don't think
again.
Tony has anything to prove, but I like the fight, man. I like the fight.
That's the one guy. It's so stylistically interesting because they're very similar, but where Tony's more of a boxer, not so much of like a kickboxer. It's going to be interesting to see someone like Cowboy, who's really good at jiu-jitsu, but who has those hard fucking leg kicks. That's going to be something I'm curious to watch. And I think that anyone who just wholesale bets Tony wins easily is on some crack or something, because that's a bit crazy.
That one's a hard fight
Anyway,
for
I think
anybody,
Cowboy
but
wins easy.
I don't know.
Maybe not like
Maybe.
Khabib, but
He might win easy. I think this is a tougher fight for Tony than for Cowboy, because for Cowboy there's less expectation. He never was a champion, never became.
I don't think so. He said he wants the belt now.
Good for him. He should have that hunger.
the position Tony's
I think
in
there's
is
more
definitely
stress on
a
him.
worse position. Like,
Oh,
there's
absolutely.
definitely more pressure on
It's
more to
Tony.
lose, too.
But
Because Tony is the best guy
Oh, yeah.
to beat Khabib stylistically. I don't think anyone's going to argue any different stylistically.
I think Cowboy
You
is.
think Cowboy's a worse fight for Khabib?
I do. Honestly, the way he's looked lately, he's looked like a man on a fucking mission,
It's true.
dude. Like,
Yes.
all right, so here's the thing. I remember at one point I thought, eventually Conor McGregor was going to get beat by a contender, but he didn't. He steamrolled everyone, and then he crushed Aldo, and then he crushed Alvarez. But before that, I remember it was around the time that he was going to fight. I forgot if it was either Seaver or Poirier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know he fought them both, but I was like, all right, one of these guys, this is a real opponent. If he beats one of these guys, I can't down him again. And that's kind of the feeling I just got after Cowboy's last fight. I just can't down him again.
Cowboy looks
I
great.
think he's the man that's going to go in there and win the belt.
I
Just like Conor went in there and beat Aldo when people were like, who the hell's going to beat Aldo? I think Cowboy's the guy that goes in there and beats Khabib when everyone's like, who's going to beat Khabib?
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. I mean, I have thought about that, too.
And I think it's insulting that after his last win, that they're not giving him Khabib.
Because they did that stupid decision to have Max versus Poirier for the title, because it had to be for a title. You know what I mean? It's so stupid.
It's
So you
dumb,
think-
though.
you think Donald deserves a title shot more than Tony?
Tony deserves it more than anyone,
Yes.
to be honest. I think Tony deserves it more because he was the
I
interim
agree.
champ, but, I mean,
This
He's
interim
on a what,
championship,
11 fight win
it's all
streak or some
bullshit.
shit.
it is all bullshit. I mean, he fought Kevin Lee.
They haven't. It used to not be bullshit, but now it's all bullshit.
Yep.
There used to be a reason for an interim champion.
Dominick Cruz injured. Oh, GSP's fucked up. It's like, yeah, interim belt. Made sense. Conor doesn't, but then it's like Conor doesn't know what to do. It's like, make him fight or make him give up that title. But then they went and they're like, oh, give him Alvarez. It's like, okay, that's cool. That's a legit guy. It's not like, cool. But the fact of the matter, it's like these interim belts just pop up out of nowhere and it's fucking annoying. And then it muddies the picture. Now, I would say Tony deserves
They're
it
all
more.
over the place.
Yeah, I would say Tony deserves it more, but that's because Cerrone just came back to the weight class, and he hasn't fought, maybe not the same guys, but Cerrone's looked fucking deadly, and he certainly, I think I'd favor Cerrone over Poirier. I think Poirier's doesn't have a chance in hell at beating Khabib. Not a very good one, at least.
I gotta be honest. After the way Cerrone beat up Kevin, Jesus Christ, Raging Hal. I'd like to see him beat up Kevin Lee.
I think I'd favor Cowboy in that fight.
I think you beat Raging Al the way Cowboy did. I think that puts you ahead of the fucking list.
Well, in Raging Al, a lot of people still undersell that guy. He's a really good talent. That guy's really good.
Also, let's look at it this way. Tony's last 3 wins, those were real opponents. Those were, definitely real opponents. But so were Cowboys. And the 2 before that, Lando Venata, who gives a fuck?
Yep. Very talented.
Josh Thompson, who gives a fuck? Leeson Tabao, who gives a fuck? Like, come on.
I can see that argument. It's just Tony hasn't lost, and that's the big thing, right? Streaks are huge.
He is on a tear.
See, that's the thing that...
Yeah, he's on a massive streak.
But, again, he didn't look...
But look at these fucking guys.
Venata almost beat him.
Mike Rio,
Michael...
Katsunori Kikona.
I look at Michael Johnson beat him. It's just like... I look at it and it's like... In context, when you look at their overall picture, they're about even.
Who wouldn't have a streak like that?
I know.
If they fought those guys.
I know.
It's just his last 3.
But then...
His last 3, that's like, all right.
Pettis hurt him bad.
Those are bad motherfuckers. But same for Cerrone's last 3.
Imagine if Pettis and Tony was 5 rounds and Pettis didn't break his hand. It was a great fight. Tony's probably going to win that. But this is a really good fight. Cowboy against Tony. I don't know who to pick.
But yeah, this is good. And you know what? This is going to show who deserves
exactly.
This is going to show who deserves
exactly. I think Tony's a worse matchup for Khabib, to be honest, than Cowboy. But Cowboy possesses a lot of the same, stylistic attributes that make it a tough fight for Khabib. I'd still favor...
Raging Al doesn't like Tony. I don't like him either.
Like, I look at it and I'm like, well, I have to favor Khabib over both of them, and I would pick Khabib over both.
Oh, yeah.
Over Tony and over Cowboy.
Khabib's the favor.
But
I think Cowboy wins.
He might. I mean, you can't count that guy out, but it depends how mentally strong he is, because, again, it's one of those things. But Cowboy has a lot of danger there. But I think Tony, because...
Also, I feel Cowboy always gets fucked out of the title
He
shot.
does.
Can I just say that?
No, he kind of does.
That's the other reason.
He usually fucks himself.
That's the other reason.
He usually fucks himself. He gets a title shot against RDA, well deserved.
And sure, he gets that.
60 seconds.
Sometimes he yeah. He did fuck himself.
You know what I mean? The Diaz fight. He only needs...
He was granted one.
Yeah.
Granted.
You know what I mean? But this is a definite number 1 contender match, and it pisses me off. But people are thinking Poirier has a good chance to beat Khabib. I find that ridiculous.
Oh, God.
A good chance? No. A chance? Yes.
A chance? Yeah, a chance.
Detox, what do you think about that fight? Poirier Khabib.
What, Poirier?
Yeah. Do you think he has a good chance?
Yeah, I think Khabib takes that easily.
Like, and Poirier's coach was like, well, if Khabib gasses out, it's dusting all day. It's like, when the fuck
Poirier doesn't have the greatest...
No, he gassed in the Max fight.
Cardio.
That's why Max got back into that fight for 2 rounds.
Is there anybody else?
Like, imagine what happened if Max got in there against Khabib. Holy fuck. Deadly. You know what I mean? Like, he'd get destroyed.
Oh, my God. I think Khabib can beat them both in the same night and not get tired. Not even break a sweat.
Well, probably not. I mean, look at what happened after the Conor fight. People are like, oh,
Each guy gets out of there by the third
Khabib
round.
got tired.
Like, that's it.
Here's the thing. Some fucking retard on the UFC discussion group suggested that, well, if Khabib gets tired against Poirier or against Cowboy or whoever the fuck I think it was Poirier, I'm like, yeah, except that doesn't happen. When does Khabib get tired? Well, the third round of the Conor fight. I don't think he was tired. He never sits on the stool. I think he was just making sure he got his strength back. I don't think he was tired. He could probably go if he wanted to. Probably wanted to just get a little rest. And also gamesmanship with Conor. He wanted to strike with him. It's like, you know what I mean? He's tired. So after 4 rounds of competition, Khabib does a fucking flying kick into the stance and starts fighting McGregor's team because he's tired in the 3rd round. Give me a fucking break. He never gets... I mean, like, really? It's kind of retarded. If your whole game plan is to bank on the fact that Khabib gets tired when your fighter just gassed himself after a round and a half of hellacious competition, you're fucked. Oh, and Sage Northcutt got knocked out in 29 seconds.
Yeah. Let me touch on that.
Well, where's Matt?
Here's a guy.
Matt? We don't want him as Abercrombie and Fitch models to get fucking fucked up here.
Here's a guy, Sage Northcutt, young guy, talented.
Max already looking in his
undefeated at lightweight, and yet he insists on fighting at welter for some fights.
Mac, what you been telling this guy?
Why?
Max just like the fucking... I could see Mac being one of those, like, he's going to look like a little guy who's not in, like, the best shape, but he's going to be like, yeah, you got to juice up, man. You got to eat steak. Fuck cutting weight. Just jack up. Yeah, just gets off on that. You know?
Yeah.
That's probably...
Like, Sage should not be fighting at welterweight.
No, he shouldn't.
He's lost... Any fight he's lost, I'm not joking around, check it out. Any fight Sage has lost has been at welter. He's undefeated at lightweight.
See that?
Outside and inside the UFC, undefeated at lightweight.
See, that's crazy.
He would be a legitimate contender at lightweight. He's not big enough to fight welter.
He isn't big.
He's very cut up, but he's not big enough to be a welterweight.
Well, his style is so bad, in a way. Like, he leaves himself so open to attacks. That's my one issue with him. He doesn't defend well, but he's still young in his career. Like, he's super young. But he kind of has that Cody Garbrandt thing where he just puts his fucking hands down and starts swinging at times. He's a little reckless. Doesn't he train with Alpha Male? He's a better camp.
I don't think he does anymore. I don't think he does anymore.
He's a way better camp. Go to TriStar, motherfucker. Go to a proper camp.
I think he did train at TriStar for a bit, actually.
Stayed there.
Like, he's been moving around.
Probably like, fuck. Probably like, oh, they're trying to teach me all this different shit instead of this kung fu crap. Oh. And Mac's old boyfriend, Tyron Woodley, is out of the Robbie Lawler fight. Apparently an injury of some kind. Shocker. Tyquill with another injury.
Tyron's out?
With another injury, has to sit out probably for another year and a fucking half and then bitch about everything.
Oh, didn't Darren Till and Mike Perry say something about that, I think?
Till and Perry want that fight. Till's like, I'll fight you at 175, probably because he's too busy trashing hotel rooms to get a decent night's sleep and cut the weight properly.
Right.
Yeah, they did. I don't know. Maybe Mike Perry. Fuck Darren Till. That boy needs to get his shit in order. He just needs to move up. Till, just move up in weight. Pack on some muscle. Because he's really skinny at welterweight. Just cut a little less weight. And
who's this again?
Darren Till. Move up. Stop fighting at 170. He should just move up. He can't make the weight. If he's arguing for a fight with Lawler at 175 instead of 170, it's like, come on, man. Who do you give Lawler?
Yeah, I don't know if his
mentality,
like his weight cut, is affecting his performance either. Because I mean,
I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe if he didn't cut all that weight, he wouldn't have went out so easily against Masvidal. I don't know.
See, I think that there's something to that because it didn't look like, to be honest, it looked like a good punch, but should that have knocked him out? I don't know.
Right, and he still looked so fucking huge, but I always felt like weight cutting affected your durability, and
does.
I don't know, some people don't believe that, but I do. Like, I feel if you drop to a certain weight, like, and you're taking stuff like fluids from your body, yes, I think, you know, sometimes there's certain weight classes, certain body types can fit into, you know, more than one weight class, but sometimes I think people take it too far.
Well, that's the thing, is like you're cutting water.
And Darren Till might be one of those.
At some point you have to cut water, right? And usually you do that the week of the fight or whatever, because it's dangerous to cut water. Right? Like cutting all that water weight.
Right.
Well, you know, sometimes if you're really jacked, you can cut a lot of water weight and be fine. You kind of have to know what you're doing, and I don't think Till has the camp for that. But the thing is, if you cut too much water, you don't control where it comes from. And and sometimes it will come from the fluid sac around your brain, and you'll drain that, which makes you more susceptible to getting knocked the fuck out, because that's a protective case for your brain. The water there helps. Without that, one knock and you're getting fucked. You're now shaking around and there's no protection, there's no buffer, you're fucked.
Yeah, your brain's just bouncing off your skull.
And it's more likely for disrepair. And that's why wrestlers, you don't see them get fucked up so wearily often unless they're doing a humongous cut. The wrestlers know how to cut the weight. Like, look at Khabib. How that guy makes 155 is shocking. When he's fucking huge. Doesn't look huge, mind you. You know, when you see him fight, you look at his arms, you're like, oh, they're not that jacked. But he has that strength. Same thing. Tyron, always made weight. Always made weight. Bummy Hendricks, Pig Rig, never. What do you guys think about Edgar getting the title shot? Do you care? Do you agree with it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like it, but whatever. It's Frankie. He's probably gonna retire soon anyway.
I want to see it because finally we'll get that fight. And again, we should get that fight now before Frankie's too long in the tooth to have any legitimate way to win that fight. Who knows? Frankie could win. Hard to tell. It's hard to bet against Frankie. He got beat once. Let's be honest. He got finished by Ortega once. Change of opponent. Radically different opponent than Max. So, who knows? Maybe Frankie will put on that performance. It's unlikely due to his age. But, you know, I want to see that fight. And I think this is the best opportune time to do it. And with Volkanovski, especially with him out of the picture, it's a perfect way to do it. So do you guys think, so looking at the Thiago Santos-John Jones fight, do you think Santos could knock John Jones out if he's going to be the guy?
Nah, I don't think he's...
I think...
Who's going to knock out John Jones? Dos Santos?
Or just Thiago Santos. Do you think he could? Like, that's the thing. If he connects, he could, maybe, but fucking good chance.
I like him, and he's a tough guy. Oh yeah, he's got a puncher's chance. I just don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, no, it should be like, if he wins, it should be the biggest underdog fight win since Sarah GSP.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but
if he wins this fight, it'll be so like out of the blue for me because I don't believe he'll win this fight at all. Like, I don't.
But the thing is, Jones, it depends. Jones always takes every opponent seriously, but this is such an overmatched opponent, and this is the most dangerous territory for John Jones I have felt in his career. And which is funny, because he's at the highest part of the mountain. He's defeated any challenger that was worth a damn. He's now in the Joe Louis stage, where he's fighting the Bum of the Month Club until Johnny Walker and the next generation is up to speed. Then maybe he'll lose.
Right.
But right now, this is the most dangerous part, because you have these guys who have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Like when
Right.
fucking Anthony Smith actually was fighting and not being defensive, he did good. He looked pretty decent. When he should have just looked like a fucking smelly turd.
I don't know. Anthony Smith, I don't know what his plan was. Was it just to not get finished? Like, was that his hope? Or... And to not take the DQ was a really dumb decision.
Of course it was dumb.
I'm glad he didn't, in a
That
way,
would've been a
because
piece
I
of
like
shit
John
way.
Jones a lot.
Yeah.
But Anthony Smith should have financially.
Yeah, I mean, he
Because
could've.
he's never going to be the champion. He could have used that win bonus that the winner would got.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, now that's it. That's the end of his career.
yeah, I never saw him doing much in that way. I favor Thiago Santos better than Anthony
Maybe
Smith.
not the end of his career, but
the beginning.
the end of his chances of being champion.
Yeah, unless John Jones dies.
I
in a
don't
car
think he will
accident
ever
or
be the
something,
champion.
Maybe then. I don't know. Like something has to happen for
Overdoses
John
on coke, something.
Dwarf tossing or fucking moves up to heavyweight. Something has to happen. The thing is, though, like I look at it and I favor Santos having a much better chance because he's more of a gangster than fucking Smith is. If anyone has that one punch that could do it, randomly, some rocky story, it's definitely Thiago Santos.
I've been arguing for him to get a shot
Oh yeah.
a fight ago.
You were arguing. He just knocks people out, and they're having these slugging matches.
Because people were like, well, there's no one else. It's like, what about Thiago Santos?
There's always someone
Like, you know,
else.
let him have a chance.
Just-
I don't think he can win, but
Yeah,
he has a shot.
It's like,
you know? He's
peop-
got quite a
we
punch.
just have to know what it is. It's the Bum of the Month Club.
Yeah.
Where we're at right now. It's the transition period. The old guard is gone. The only legitimate one is DC, and there's no way he's coming down for that fight. So it's...
I don't think we need to see that anymore.
I would like to see it at heavyweight, and that's about it. But it's not smart.
Especially after he got laid out. It's like,
It's not
I
good for
think that's
Jones to
enough.
take that. There's no incentive to fight Daniel Cormier at heavyweight. So he doesn't need to take the fight.
No, that'd be ridiculous.
It would be stupid, because Cormier has a way better chance that every punch could knock out John Jones.
And Jones, let's face it, I don't think he cuts as much weight as he even says he does.
Probably not, but then he's a wrestler, and he's really
I
good
think
at it.
Jones cuts like 5 pounds.
Nah, I think he cuts at least 20.
I don't think he's very big. He's not a very big man. I think he's maybe 210 pounds or so.
Maybe.
I don't think he cuts very much at all.
Maybe, but it...
And we were like, look how
Maybe
huge
if he
John
was
Jones
roided
looks.
out, you know,
It's like,
kind of
guys,
thing.
with the right fucking lighting and angle, there's some lightweights that we can make look like light
This is
heavyweights.
true. Look at fucking Gleason T-Bow.
Yeah, we were talking about him earlier.
Fuck.
Briefly mentioned as a who cares win. But look at Husamar Paul Harris.
Yeah. Holy fuck, is he big though now? He's on the roids.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
Still. Detox.
he fought welter at one point,
Yeah, I know,
didn't
he
he?
did. He did.
At many
He looked
points,
good.
excuse
He
me.
looked good at welter.
He looked like a fucking heavyweight in
I
there. He looked like he was
know.
220
He
pounds.
fucking just eye gouges Jake Shields.
So there's, you know what I mean?
Floors him.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think Jones is as big as people think.
No, you might be right. He is just kind of more that tall guy.
When you're all muscle like that,
Yeah,
you're gonna look a little bigger than you are.
that's true.
Like, I had pictures of myself from when before I was a powerlifter and I was more a hobby bodybuilder, my arms look much bigger than they are right now. But if we take a tape measure, my arms are bigger now. Like, we actually took a tape measure to them, I'm bigger now. But I don't look it just because I put a lot of fat over my arms now.
Well, powerlifter body, right?
So they don't look they still look big, but you know what I mean, not as big.
They're not as cut. It's
Yeah. I mean, I'm still a huge dude. Yeah, like you'd still think I lifted weights. Like if you saw me in the gym, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's been here before."
Detox. What do you think of the Brazil Wilder fight?
Yeah. I think Wilder's gonna knock him out in like the 5th round.
What did Teddy Atlas say? What was his prediction?
I have no idea. What was his prediction?
I don't know. I forgot. Nothing important.
His prediction was he hates Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
That was the
real,
best
like,
thing you said
for
the
real.
entire fucking podcast. Pedophile Mike Tyson.
He fucking hates
The
Mike Tyson.
pedophile. Fire.
Like even in the
Mike.
game,
Shit, bro.
he's just discrediting the fuck out of Mike. Like it's actually so weird
I
when
get
you think
it.
about it.
I mean, to be honest, though, he's not speaking in untruth necessarily, but it's kind of a
Right,
archaic
but it's
mindset
like
to have.
Jesus.
It's
Yeah.
like you can't say he's not.
He's like
talented.
like in the game, this dude's talking like, yeah, I don't know. As a kid, I don't know if many people know this, but as a kid, he used to hide behind walls and in between walls, and
It's like,
I don't think he's gotten out of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck are you saying right now? This is some deep shit, bro.
but
Like,
then, you know what?
there's no commentary on any other fighter like that in that game. Just him. Like,
But you know what? I mean, the guy has a good mind for the sport. I have to give him that.
yeah, he
Like-
does. He is a very insightful person to
And
listen
maybe
to
that,
talk
that
about
mindset,
boxing and
that
stuff.
old archaic mindset, maybe pays dividends. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of scary when you look at his
Right.
prediction for the Holyfield Tyson fights. He's like, yeah, Holyfield's got that. And everyone's like, what? He's like, yeah, Holyfield's a much stronger mentally fighter. He'll beat him. And then he does. And then the rematch, he's like, yeah, Tyson will find a way out. He'll bite him. He'll get himself disqualified. He'll hit him low. He'll bite him. He'll do whatever. And it's like, holy fuck, he'll do it within the first 3 rounds or something. He'll find a way.
Yeah,
He's like,
he really knows Mike
that's why I'm
back
like,
of his fucking
that's
hand.
why I'm like, holy fuck. You know what I mean? Like, fuck me.
Yeah.
Wilder will probably beat Brazil, but I hope Brazil wins, especially after what Wilder said, like a fucking idiot. Did you hear about that, King? What he said?
Like what, catching a body?
How he wants to, like,
Yeah, he wants to kill
yeah, and
someone.
it's like, fuck you, dude. Hopefully it happens to you. You get, like, fucking...
I don't know, like, what to like, I don't really
Dude,
care
I
that-
liked
I don't
him
really
so
think
much
that's a
more
big- I don't think
before
it's
he
a big
became
deal.
champion.
Yep. When he became champion, he became a joke.
He was
Because,
so
like,
cool
I mean,
before
what's
he
the
became
difference
champ.
between
It was all
saying
thanks
something
to
like that? Like,
God and this and that.
I'm pretty sure plenty of fighters talk about killing their opponents or, like, like, I know Mike Tyson's done
Of
it for
course,
sure,
but
like, talking about
it's-
eating motherfuckers' children and
You know what I
shit.
mean? But he wasn't
but I don't know,
talking
to me,
about it.
it's
It's
all
different,
just,
though.
it's all just for the fight.
It is,
It's all just to
but
build up the fight, in my
It's
opinion.
kind of different when you're talking about the legality. You know what I mean? It's kind of different. You're not just saying...
Yo,
that
Mike Tyson was
you're-
actually hyping
Bro,
the fight
it's
when he
scary
said that.
shit, nigga. That nigga's out here scaring his
I
opponents,
don't
bro.
think Brazil's... I'd fucking laugh at him.
Bro, if this was medieval times, bro, I would fucking go through your city
burn
and
down King's Landing.
behead anybody not fit to work. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
pretty much.
Like, I don't know. And he also said that Tyson Fury didn't want to fight him because he got a concussion last December. And it's like, you can't even spell the fucking word concussion, you muppet. Fuck you, Beyonce. You can't even spell the word concussion, let alone say it. The guy's got a fucking warped sense of fucking reality. I hope Brazil's the guy to do it. I doubt it. I hope so. I really hope so. And I hope that it's Brazil because it'll fuck his
man.
chances. I hate Deontay Wilder. I used to like him before.
Yeah,
Me and
you
King
hate
used to
Deontay.
talk him up and say he might
I
be able to
mean,
beat
he's a
Joshua.
good guy,
Yeah.
except for the fact
too
that he
cocky.
said, like, I want to catch a
It's
body.
like, go fuck yourself.
I liked him before
Really?
he
You
became
think
champ.
so?
Fuck him.
I don't
A
think
little into
he's
his
too
championship
cocky.
reign, he became
Way
a
too
dick.
cocky. He became
I don't know. I
way
think he's pretty classy, honestly, when he's in
Yeah.
interviews and shit.
at times, but
The worst thing I've ever heard him say was just that. Other than that, he's been
he's-
pretty. I don't
he's
know.
warped,
He's pretty
Did you
classy.
see the Fury
yeah,
interview?
the Fury
after that
fight was fucking.
No, I've seen a lot of interviews, but honestly, the most things I heard him say about Fury was that he respects him because of what he went through and that he came back. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I heard Deontay say about.
Dude, he was trying to act like he won the fight after.
Yeah, and it's like, what the.
Oh, you're talking about after the
Yeah,
fight.
after
I
the
mean,
fight.
well, there's people who will argue that. You know what
They're
I'm saying?
fucking
Obviously, the guy who was in the fight is
No one
gonna argue
educated.
that.
Sorry, Ice Cube, you're not educated, which you aren't.
He's not.
He isn't. Fucking. Oh,
The
Deontay
fucking-
won.
He has the mind of a fucking carrot. Drugs and stuff.
Fucking Ice Cube. Stick to movies.
I think
boxing.
Dominic Trouble Brazil knocks out Deontay
hope
Wilder
you're
round
right.
9. That's my
I
prediction.
hope you're right. I hope that Deontay fucking somehow throws a banana peel in there and he slips and fucking breaks his neck and is like, oh fuck, I was talking about catching bodies and now I'm fucked. Not really though. I just hope he gets knocked out.
So,
Fuck
like, what's the difference of what you're saying and what he's
I know,
saying?
I'm
You're fucking...
kidding and I'm not being serious. I'm joking around. I don't want to be
yeah.
paralyzed.
He's not a role model, though, to fucking children.
Why the
like
who the
heavyweight
fuck?
boxing
Who
champion
should
is.
Deontay should not be a role model for anyone. Fuck him.
No.
You can beat up an internet troll. Good for you. You're fucking a big man fighting.
With special needs.
Yeah. It's just
And didn't even knock him out. He was hit like a bitch.
it's just random.
I think if I hit that Charlie Zidanov guy, I think he'd die.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
Like,
It's just ridiculous. Like we're in a sport where lots of people have died.
but seriously, that guy, Charlie, I wouldn't hit him because he has special needs. And Deontay fucking teed off on him. And he couldn't even
Does he?
knock him out. The guy was still talking
Yes.
shit on him. He was still talking shit to him after he hit him. Like, I'm wondering, like, if half of boxers, like, if we think they're tougher than they are.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's presence. I just think it's so stupid in a sport where like death has plagued the sport for so long. You know, Max Baer killing his opponent, Sugar Ray Robinson having a dream of killing his opponent and wanting to pull out of the fight and being forced to fight and killed the guy. You know, Dooku Kim, Ray Mancini. You know, in a sport where people have died.
really? I never heard that about Sugar
You
Ray.
never did? So, Sugar Ray was, this is,
He dreamt he was going to fucking kill him, and he did?
Yep. He tried to stop the fight. He tried to delay the fight and stop the fight, and he didn't want the fight. But
my
he's the
God.
champion, and he has to. And he didn't
And
want
there's
to.
evidence that he was trying to not do
Yep.
it?
Yeah. He
Oh
dreamt
my
he killed the guy,
God.
and he's like,
What was it, some mandatory that didn't belong in there?
No, the guy belonged in there, but a lot of people at that point don't belong in there with Sugar Ray
Who knows?
Robinson.
Right,
You know what I
right. I'm
mean?
saying, but sometimes the mandatory is like
The guy
fucking
deserved it in
a
a way.
boob.
You know, he wasn't
Yeah.
a boob. He was a good fighter, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he's not the toughest guy in that division at that point. You know, so it's kind of like in
Mhm.
between. But yeah, Sugar Ray dreamt he killed the guy, and he's like, I don't want to fight this guy. I don't want to fight him. You have to. You don't get paid if you don't. It's like, oh fuck. And this is like really close to the fight too.
It's like, all right.
Yeah, and he's like, fuck, fine. It's just a dream.
Yes, it is.
And then it happened, and then he was fucking destroyed from it. Ray Mancini never was the same guy after he killed Dooku Kim. That's why boxing went from 15 rounds to 12.
My parents talk about
Yep,
that.
he never was the same guy after that fight. Max Baer never was the same guy after he killed someone. Max Baer was in the 30s. He killed someone. He fucking hit the guy so hard because Max Baer hit extremely hard. He's like the Ernie Shavers of his day. He like disconnected the
Yeah.
guy's brain from like the fucking stem where it hangs off of. You know, it's like almost like one of those balls that
Yeah.
paddle ball almost, and after the fucking string rips, it's like that. He fucking hit the guy so hard, and he killed him. And it's like, fuck. and he was distraught. Never was the same guy. Mancini, never the same guy after he killed Dooku Kim. It affects you. So for that fucking moron and this muppet, this fucking oaf, to say that he wants to catch a body in the fucking boxing, which is the most deadliest combat sport. I'm just gonna say it. It's worse than kickboxing. It's how long they fight, and it's the sustained punishment. That's like saying I want to kill my opponent in a WWE ring, and you're trying to be legitimate. It's like, no. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, you don't do that. You don't say that shit. Yeah, you can say it in anger. You can say it like Mike Tyson when you're fucking delusional. When you're fucking a little bit delusional and you're probably coked up. Sure.
Yeah, no one expects
but he's
much from Iron
legitimately
Mike.
saying it. Like where he's like, oh, it's, you can legally kill a man and get paid for it. It's legal, so why not use my right to do so? I'm trying to get a body on my record.
I just think honestly, I really think he's just saying it.
He is just probably saying it, but he's
to make himself
like
seem
an
like
no
a
way,
savage.
he meant
He
it.
probably meant it. Who knows? The guy's fucking an uneducated oaf.
Yeah.
And I hope that some bum just randomly on the street cripples him. But not bad enough.
Lays him out.
Yeah, just lays him the fuck out. And he's like, oh, fuck. Maybe I deserved it. Fuck Beyonce Wilder.
Some internet troll bitched him in an airport.
Good.
This guy, Prophet
Jesus.
Muscle.
Fuck Beyonce Wilder.
Yeah, man. He bitched him out in an airport, and Deontay didn't
Probably
do
get
shit.
sued.
But yeah, he'll beat up that special needs guy.
I think the special needs comes in from fight.
I think he was scared of Prophet Muscle. He is a big dude. I think he fucking shit his pants a little.
How would you tell?
He's like, I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. The guy's like, I don't care. I want to fight right now.
Did you watch the Canelo Jacobs fight? Oh,
No.
fucking, that was great. That's kind of what I expected,
Oh, imagine
Yep.
Canelo
but
won.
it was deserved, I think. I don't think many people would argue that. I think he out. Oh yeah.
Oh, went the distance.
Which is kind of what I predicted. I didn't think either guy. Oh
What does Drake
fuck!
think?
He's just like your boyfriend Canelo, and I'm like, I'm not that. I mean, if you said Yoel, I would have copped to it, or Khabib, or Cyborg, I would have been like, yeah, or Dominic. Yeah, Canelo, I'm like, not even really a big boner for Canelo. He's a good fighter. Like, what decision did he really lose that I'm not saying, yeah, maybe he lost that. Like, I don't know, I don't get Mac's fascination with that. It's probably just because we make fun of him for liking cut up, juiced up men.
Oh. And I think
he's in the
he
closet.
definitely
He's in the closet.
likes men.
Not that there's
Yeah,
anything
he
wrong
likes
with that.
men.
You can be in the closet. I mean,
You
it's
know,
just,
He literally
he does.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
He does
Paulo
like men.
Costa.
he does. He likes
Yeah.
girls too, but he likes both.
he also likes
He
men.
likes both.
He would suck
likes both.
Paulo Costa off.
Specifically
Or
black
just,
men.
Or just, you have to be a little colored.
Black, Brazilian. He doesn't really discriminate.
Usually black. He
Hello,
has a
hello,
preference.
you gotta have a little
Usually
color.
black. Like Tyron's nuts, he was on for the longest time until Tyron lost, and then he jumped ship
Oh,
to
yeah.
Snoozman. Now he's on
Facts.
Snoozman's nuts.
He be hopping on all kinds
He's hopping
of
on
shit.
Snoozefin. I don't want him to like him this week.
It affects your fantasy.
He's not
Can't
allowed
stand
to like
the corner.
Usman. Because I was the fan of Nigerian Nightmare
I
for
know.
a long time now. Like, he's not hopping on. He's not. Oh,
I'm
get him
trying.
in this
He
party.
won't- he-
We're going to get
he
him to
won't-
come out of the
he's playing
closet.
R. Kelly right now. He won't
Yeah.
stop playing Mortal Kombat and shooting his gun and fucking staying in
Yeah,
the
why did he
closet.
leave?
Ugh.
Just left.
Fucking
Not having
bum.
it.
I think his ultimate fantasy would be like one of those
why he
Instagram
supports
model
the Dykes
black
so
women
much,
with
you
a
know,
huge
yeah.
ass and like Deontay Wilder drilling him from behind as like he drills the big black
Oh
woman.
god. Hell
I think
yeah.
that's
Probably
his
just looking
fantasy.
at some. Who's that huge black guy with a huge ass besides Tyron? That's probably why you like Tyron. That bubble butt.
Oh no, dude.
I don't know. I don't know.
I have no
Probably
idea.
Joshua, probably. He's like 6'6". Max like 4'6". It's a perfect relationship. He wants to be Hayden Panettiere and Vladimir Klitschko.
Project, you're gonna like
I
re-listen to
don't
this
give a
later
fuck.
and be like, "What the hell was I thinking?" It's like, "Hey, who's the black guy with the nice ass?"
I'll probably come up with a name. I don't care. As I said, Max probably just on. It's probably Anthony Joshua.
Starts pointing out other people that might be gay. It's like, yeah, I think Mac's gay. Who's the black guy with the nice
big,
ass?
beefy one.
And I'm
yeah.
like, which one? There's so many to choose from.
It's probably Joshua though. More than anyone, it's probably Anthony Joshua because he's 6'6" and Max 4'6".
Oh, he loves Joshua.
Mac is like 4'6".
Yeah, he wants
Yeah.
to like climb up his tree trunk
Just
leg.
hump his leg like a dog. Just hump his fucking leg like a dog. Oh my god.
I don't even think he. Yeah, I don't think he
Hump
think twice
his
about
leg
it.
like a
Joshua
dog.
and
Oh.
Costa
Oh,
in a
God,
three-way
he's-
with him. I think
he's
that would be like
jizzing
heaven
out
for
then.
him. Oh
You know what sucks
gosh,
though,
yeah.
for boxing? We lost Harold Letterman.
Are we saying Mac is
Yeah.
4'6"?
I'm sorry, I don't want to keep it. He's 3'6". Let's just be honest. I've met him in real. No, he's probably 4'6".
Oh man. Oh shit.
We lost Harold Letterman though. That sucked.
Oh my god.
Right?
Okay, Jim.
The best guy at.
I'd always be like, here's Harold
Yeah,
with the real
exactly.
score.
So much more accurate than everyone else. Even though I think he favored Golovkin a little too hard when he was, you know. Like, he fucking had Golovkin winning, like, every round in, like, every fight. You know. Oh, how about that Jacobs fight? Jim, 10 rounds to nothing for Golovkin. It's just like, what the fuck are you on?
Okay, Jim. 10 rounds to nothing. Gennady Golovkin. You know, you gotta love what
Yeah.
the guy does in there. He's landing the better punches. He's moving better. He's moving the head a little.
No, he's just sucking Golovkin's dick. And that was HBO, though.
And,
Whoa.
you know, Jim, I have a
What's
feeling
going on there?
they call him Triple G because he has a 9-inch strong. You know?
What the fuck's going on with Detox? He's disconnected. What the fuck?
He's had
He's
enough.
probably had enough of the Dick Schlonger talk. Oh well, it's perfect. We have to move on to WWE anyway, and I don't think Detox or Mac are up really to date on that.
Are interested. But yeah, Money
Yes,
in the Bank
that
this
is
Sunday,
true.
right? I'll
What do
be
you
watching.
think? I think basically everyone keeps their belts. I don't think that.
Let's see.
I'm gonna try and invite him again. He disconnected, so hopefully.
Who's Samoa Joe
Rey
wrestling
Mysterio.
against? Oh,
And probably fuck him. They'll probably fuck Ray over.
I hate both of them.
I don't
Samoa
mind
Joe's
both.
fat and Rey Mysterio killed someone, so
Yeah. I mean, you could argue it could have been that person's fat content, though, killed them. I don't know. He didn't look like he was in the best shape to be wrestling. I like the guy. He's a good wrestler. It's just... I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? The guy didn't look in the greatest shape. But yeah, you're right. Hopefully Ray wins, but I'm not holding my breath for that. What do you think about Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins? They're confirmed a couple now. They've been trying to hide it for months, but it's been pretty obvious.
I'm gonna send you something funny.
Oh god.
And
Alright.
if not, it's okay. If not, it's okay.
Go for it.
But I think you understand what I'm getting. Why I'm
Shit.
asking for this?
Disconnected.
I figured as much. I was like, oh shit. I want to see this. What did you... What the fuck? Okay.
Thank you.
No worries, I was thinking the same thing. So we moved on to WWE Detox after discussing the late great Harold Letterman and his fascination with scoring Golovkin winning every round in like every fight Golovkin had.
Yeah, I thought Triple G did earn most of the wins, but yeah, he would have it way in favor.
Yeah, like when he's fighting Jacobs, and Jacobs is
and I
doing
love
really
Triple
well.
G.
I like Triple G, don't get me wrong. I don't hate Golovkin, but it's like, did he win that round? I thought Jacobs just won that round. Jim, 11 rounds to nothing. Gennady Golovkin. It's like, really?
Okay, Jim.
It's like...
But yeah, it sucks that he's gone, though.
I know.
Was
the
awesome.
best, most accurate
He was
fucking...
awesome.
Most accurate
He was better than
anyone.
most of those boxing
I'm Jim
judges.
Lampley.
Yeah, maybe anyone.
I have the personality of a ham sandwich, and my hair looks like I skinned a raccoon. I'm Jim Lampley. I suck at commentating.
Dude.
Fuck me, Jim. Wait, why am I saying that? You know, it's like, fuck.
My name is Larry Merchant. And,
I actually preferred Larry Merchant
I
over
look like
Jim.
Jim Lampley shit.
I was going to say Jim Lampley's left testicle, but that works too.
Fucking hate Merchant.
At least he was funny and controversial, though. You know what I mean? He'd say some ridiculous shit. He didn't give a fuck, and he just said it.
He was a little instigator. I don't know how no one
he so was. Until Floyd came after him.
Is he alive?
Oh, yeah.
He's like 1,000 now.
Yeah, I know. He's Methuselah. When he's interviewing
Fucking
the last...
Crypt Keeper.
I thought that was Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I thought that.
Oh, man. We don't want to insult the Crypt Keeper that way.
Jeez. Actually,
She is
Joanna's
one
not that
hideous
bad.
little
She's
thing.
okay. She doesn't...
At least she accepts it. She knows she's the boogie woman. That's why she fucking calls herself that.
It's true. She knows.
She's not too bad. When she's dolled up, she's okay.
Joe Rogan started jerking
Now she
off
has
when
implants
she said
and
that.
shit. You know
Oh,
what I'm
he
saying?
Joe Rogan must
He
have
was
some
like,
Pennywise
I'll
fetish.
give you the boogie. I'll give you boogie nights. It's like, shut
You
the
know
fuck
she got
up,
implants, right?
Yeah, I know.
Joe. I don't know.
Joanna
Let's have a
somehow
look here.
Joanna suddenly became hotter with implants. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, that can do wonders for most women. Isn't it crazy? A woman can spend $5,000 and then be classified as hot.
Gets like gain like a
guy-
+2
Right.
just because of implants.
A guy-
You gain like a +2 on
You
the
can
scale.
be as good looking
Within moderation.
on Earth, you know.
As long as you don't get some like
and
Allura
still,
Jensen tits
women
or
will
something.
find something they don't like about you. They'll like search for it.
Of course.
Then it's like, oh, she's got good tits. All right.
As long as you don't go too outrageous and go like
Facts.
the fucking like
Yeah,
Allura
women have
Jensen,
like diverse
huge-
tastes and shit, and men are all just like tits and ass. Like that's all
Yep.
it comes down to, really.
pretty. But I mean, like, as long as, but there's a limit. Just like asses, where they can look like diapers when you get a fake ass, and it looks like you're just carrying
Yeah.
around a bunch of shit, like what Mac likes, that Kim Kardashian ass of like no legs and just all shit piled up in the ass. Fucking, like, there's a limit to tits. If you go way too big, it looks ridiculous. There's a limit.
Oh, yeah.
There's a fucking limit. When your tits are about the size of your head, you've gone
When
too
they're
far.
and like, oh man,
You're a fucking
I don't
alien.
know.
If she's bouncing
You
up
don't
and
turn me off to
down,
Joanna. Though.
I
I
don't
heard
fucks
she-
with
Someone was
scars,
saying
bro,
she
on
smells.
titties and shit. Like I don't like that shit. Like,
yeah, me too. That was a-
I ain't trying to see no motherfucking like sliced up nipple, dog. Like fuck.
There's much better ways now that they can do it and hide scars. But yeah,
Right.
I've seen that porn stars. Where
I think they can do
obviously have
injections
implants.
now.
I've heard that. I've heard about injections. I've never seen anything like that. But still,
Yeah,
like
I'm not
there's
too
ways
up
you
to.
could. Yeah, like when I've watched porn before, I've like seen like these huge scars, and I'm like, wow, that's just really
Yeah,
unattractive.
bruh.
It's really killing the
It
mood now.
really like
You know?
makes it. Yeah, it really can. Yeah, it really
Now
can.
I'm just
Like,
staring at these scars.
bro, you know what I hate, dude? When like I have like there's a porn star I like, and then like next thing you know, I see she got like
Huge tits.
implants.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, I automatically never watch any of their new shit. Like literally, like
Who's
like
this?
I just can't, dude.
Let's get it
I
right.
don't even fuck.
What porn star?
There's this girl Lana Rhodes or whatever, and like she's not even
that
a bad
sounds
example,
familiar.
honestly. But like, I don't know. There's been a
There's
lot,
too
bro.
many in porn.
Shit.
There's too many
Yeah.
examples in porn about them just getting way too big a tit
Yeah.
size out of nowhere. Fuck,
Yeah,
man.
it bothers me.
I'd rather
It really
go for
bothered.
like the fucking natural huge titted fucking porn stars if I was in, you know. I would probably rather
Yeah.
go grab it. You know, it's like you look
And
at
the thing is that like
the stars, man.
it's weird because I feel like every guy should feel that way or does feel that way, but then like why is it so popular in porn and shit when like cuz me I hate seeing it. I hate seeing scars and any of that shit. Like I hate that shit. But like obviously porn stars always do it, so it must be you know what I'm saying?
well, it's to
It must
look
be what
more
people want to see.
attractive, photos and shit. They can't really.
True.
They think.
But like
they'll
if your
upload-
work
there
is
is
mostly on
injectable
camera, you're getting
breast
fucked and
augmentation
shit.
now.
Like
It's apparently been around for a little while.
What has?
The injections, you can do breast injections.
mm,
Yeah, it's a thing.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I haven't
they
seen
should
it.
fucking only do that shit, cause
If it's safe, I mean, safe. Well, I guess it can't be
Yeah,
any
if
more
it's
safe.
safe.
than that.
Apparently, there's been no serious side effects to the injections.
Well, that's good.
Like nothing serious. Like no one died or anything.
Fuck. It's just like, man, it's just, and you know, sometimes it's like there's a proportionality thing where you want your tits to
Yeah.
look real, even though we know they're not. Like look at Paige Van Zandt.
right.
She doesn't look absurd with her injection, like with her tits, with her tit job. She doesn't look bad. She looks good. It's just, you know, is it noticeable? Yeah, obviously. Same with Joanna. Obviously, you went from a mosquito bite to actual cup
Right.
size. But if she just got huge double D's like Misha Tate, like Joanna's walking around with these Misha Tate titties, then obviously there's a problem, right? You know, then it's like, okay, this is a little ridiculous. To each their
And then there's
own.
like the girls with like really small tits that get like implants, and you can just
Way
it
too
just
big.
looks like it just looks like literally the implants just wrapped in skin. Like there's no fat, like there's
Yeah.
no like
It
there's like
doesn't look
nothing else
realistic
there.
at all. Even though
Yeah,
we want it
it's
to
just
look
like a circle,
realistic.
just
Even
hovering on
though
your
we know
chest.
it's not. We want it to look realistic.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you constantly have to go for different sizes. I don't think you have to stick with one for the rest of your life. You have to go for like eventually.
Oh
I
wait,
think
what
you
they
have
go
to
for
change.
different sizes?
I think so.
What do
I
you
think
mean?
eventually you kind of have
Oh,
to change
shit.
them out, and then people reevaluate. And I can't. It's
Oh.
like, fuck. You know what I mean? That's why it's just like, is it really worth it? Probably just
I
rock
didn't
what you
even
got.
know that. That's crazy, bro.
It's like probably just
Fuck
rock
that.
You know what I mean? Eventually, you have to change your tits out. They only last so long. The silicone only lasts so long.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But it's just like,
Yeah, just work with what you got.
like usually work with what you got. I mean, maybe if you're in really good shape, you know, you're an athlete and you want tits and you don't have any anymore because you're in shape. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Just get the right size. Don't go too fucking huge, because then you look like Allura Jensen or like any one of these other fucking porn stars who have like humongous tits that are obviously fake, and you keep going bigger. Like, what's that one?
Right.
I heard she even got bigger tits. I don't watch porn anymore, so I haven't really. I looked at photos just to
You
confirm.
don't watch porn anymore at all? Damn. Son.
Not really, man. It's all the same shit.
It's lit.
It's all the
Not
same
really,
shit,
or
though.
not at all?
Nah, you know, it's just like the same positions, the same script, just the different. It's like, You know, I'm not. It doesn't.
Mhm.
I'm not engaged in it at all, really. It's just like, what was her name? Ava Devine. That's the slut that I was thinking of. That's the one that got humongous tits.
Sounds familiar.
Dirty Asian
Yes.
fucking porn star. Older chick. Been around for
long
like
time.
forever. I remember she was on the Stern Show and they were doing like the biggest like porn star like fucking like which then like Ava Devine will just have sex with like anyone. Legitimately. To walk up to people and just have sex with them. It's like fuck, man. Who's gonna bang a porn star? Let's be honest. Who's really going? It's like I'd be a little apprehensive, wouldn't you guys?
I'd bang a porn star. There's a fucking lot of porn
Wouldn't
stars
you be
I'd
a
bang.
little bit though
Fuck.
apprehensive because of their if they're still
A little
in the
bit, but
industry?
then yeah, but then
Let's say
I
let's say
think
they're
like
not active.
I
Then
know
it's okay.
I'm sure they do testing. I'm sure that's a
Right.
big thing in the porn industry is testing. So like they're
Right,
probably some of the
but-
cleanest
Oh
people.
no, you can get
honestly.
AIDS easily.
It's just like
Huh?
it depends on every 2
You
weeks.
can
It's
easily get AIDS.
like
You can
it's just
easily
like,
get
it
okay,
depends.
but like the porn stars that I watch don't have AIDS. Otherwise, I mean,
You don't know they
How the
don't.
fuck do you know?
You don't know that.
I
they
mean,
do.
why would you?
Who
Because
knows?
they're
Could be
porn
some.
stars.
If
Gonna
you
go
fuck a
around
porn
giving
star,
people AIDS like
you're
you can just
asking
do
for
that,
an
like
STD.
that's
you're gonna
normal.
get AIDS.
You're gonna get an STD. Maybe not
Yeah.
AIDS.
You're
Maybe
gonna
not
get
full-
something. Yeah.
Maybe not full blown AIDS, but you're gonna get something. I mean, it's almost impossible to not get like fucking
And
something.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
the
know.
testing
I'm
isn't
definitely
what it's
fucking.
made out
There's
to be.
definitely some porn stars I'd fuck
Like
for sure.
if the of course we would fuck them if they probably weren't porn stars instantaneously. There would be no apprehension there. Maybe if they were
No,
out
I'd
of the
still
industry.
fuck. I'd still fuck.
I don't know.
I don't
See,
give
it
a fuck.
depends, man. I don't know. It depends on experience. If they just
I
did
don't
one
give a
porno,
fuck.
sure. But if that's their job and they've done it for like the life of a porn star is like what, 10 years at best. Just in your 20s and then you're fucked once you hit 30.
Oh,
for some
career?
reason.
Yeah, the career.
But then
is
you're
not
like
a-
fucked like a billion times on camera. It's like oh fuck.
Mhm.
It's just like oh man.
You've been railed out.
That's why it's like I don't even know if it would be worth it. Like out from the outside, they look hot, right? Like that one.
Only
I keep
one way to
seeing.
find out. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I mean, if I were single and like a
It would
porn star of
depend.
my choice, hypothetically, said I
Yeah,
could
porn
fuck
star of
them, I
your
mean,
choice.
it's gonna be hard to turn that down, obviously.
Yeah.
But I
But-
would know in advance, like, well, I know I'm gonna catch something, but probably do it anyway.
even, like
Yeah.
like if that Angela White, like that was the last.
I'm
one
just
I saw.
being realistic. I mean,
But I mean,
shit.
yeah, if like Angela White
Yeah,
comes to my
we'd
fucking
all
door,
do it, but I.
If
being
this
honest with
bitch
you,
was
I
in
think
front of
we're-
your
you're catching
face,
something.
just butt naked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
my
I probably
hell,
would,
I
but
can't
that's the
fuck-
thing. It's like, man, I don't know. I'd still have apprehension to be like, can I see when your last test result? You took your test class? Can I get that?
If
in
that was an
advance?
option, I would do that too.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
but if I mean, maybe there's always one. Oh, King,
I mean,
did you hear about?
Yes.
We just had another wrestling-related death yesterday or today.
Ooh,
Ashley from
that
WWE.
girl, right?
Yes, Ashley.
Yeah, terrible.
I don't know. See, they're not releasing the cause of death, but there's no foul play and it's not suspicious. So that leaves me two options: suicide or drugs. I don't know which.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. It's probably one of the two. Though you wouldn't think suicide because she was like on Twitter saying how she was going to get to all these fan mail and shit and respond to people, and she's working for like a radio show, but I don't fucking know. Found unresponsive, so that doesn't tell me much. Kind of sucks though. She kind of got fucked over. She's kind of one of those chicks that came in who couldn't really wrestle, but was kind of learning and was over with the fans. And then, I don't know, she just kind of faded.
Mhm.
She's kind of got one of those ones of the system that just falls out of place. Oh, did you also hear? Not to skip over the death of Ashley, it's just... we don't know enough information to really have an in-depth conversation.
Yeah, we don't know enough.
Alexa Bliss is not going to be in Money in the Bank.
Oh, she's not.
Apparently she's not medically cleared. And I think this is a WWE move to protect her, to make sure she doesn't take anything unnecessary, because she's still dealing with Ronda Rousey's fucking, I think, stupid fucking idiocy. Why would you put your, I don't get, this is what pisses me off, and I don't know if this is a Triple H thing, or if this is a Vince thing. I still have to question. Who was the fucking idiot that said, you know what, Ronda Rousey deserves to be with our top heel, our number one bad female wrestler, who's the most over with the fans.
Yeah, I hate her.
What fucking idiot puts this untalented fuck, whose really job was beating tomato cans, Misha Tate and Kat Zingano, puts her in a wrestling ring after training for, a year? Not even. Of very carefully selected matches, bumps her up to the main stage, and puts your number one resourceful, best fucking female wrestler in the fucking ring with this idiot. Who's a bull in a china
Ronda
shop.
Rousey sucks, and I hate her.
I fucking hate the shit out of her. I can't stand that woman. Detox, what do you think of Ronda?
She sucks at wrestling.
She does. She's fucking terrible, and everyone's just like, oh, she's great. That WrestleMania match where she wrestled for 2 minutes, she was great. It's like, being carried by Triple H and Kurt Angle, she should look fucking good. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just fucking retarded. Let's put our number one bad guy, our number one rated female wrestler in there with her. It's like, fuck, it reminds me of something else. It reminds me of WCW. Yeah, let's just put Goldberg in with Bret Hart. Nothing will go wrong. Oh, there goes Bret Hart's career.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Yep, Goldberg sucks.
He's apparently coming back.
Oh my gosh. Alright. So, apparently he's going to come back and wrestle Taker in Saudi Arabia. Dude,
Taker better
apparently... Whoever runs Saudi Arabia is a big fan of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're a journalist.
He was demanding Yokozuna.
And
they had to convince him that he's been dead a long time. And he was outraged.
Dead. Oh my god. He's only been dead 19 years. He's only been dead for 19 years.
He wanted him more than any superstar. Because he's really into 80s and 90s wrestling.
Just have a new Yokozuna. Just create a new one. Just pick some fat slob out of WWE Creative. It's like, here, let's put him in a gimmick. Let's let him wrestle.
Alright, let's just tell him he's Yokozuna. Just find some fat fucking Hawaiian in the street and just put the red tights on him.
Just put get the guy from Street Fighter.
Say either he gained or lost a few pounds.
Yeah.
He won't fucking know. It's 20 years ago that he watched him wrestle. He wouldn't fucking know.
Just get the guy from Street Fighter the movie.
Get Rikishi. They're like, we have better. God. We have his son. Just make about a huge lie.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Is Bray Wyatt going to be at Money in the Bank or no?
I don't know. They're doing interesting stuff.
What do you think of his new gimmick?
I don't know. I haven't given it enough thought.
Is he going to talk about cheating on that show?
Who knows? Because isn't he married to that black chick? What's her name? JoJo or whatever?
I don't know if he's married to her, but I know he fucking ruined his... She's a homewrecker. She is hot, though. You know.
Oh, my God.
So Bray chose a piece of ass over his family.
I Not surprising, most people do. Oh, now I know this is storyline specific, but Nia Jax just bitches.
She must have a
again.
weird fetish, right, to be fucking him?
No,
because he's not like an attractive guy.
No, he must either have a really good personality, a really good something else, or
giant
she
penis,
has a
right?
Giant penis.
She has a fetish.
Or she has a fetish.
For
or he has
really
an amazing
gross-looking
personality
men.
that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
It's one of the three. There's not much else that can
I
attract
like Bray
a
Wyatt
woman
a
like
lot
that.
until the homewrecker thing. Like, I'm not about that shit. Like, all of a sudden, I have morals when it comes to certain shit. You know, I'm like, hey, that's a no-no. You have a fucking woman and kids. Like, you don't go fucking some young bitch. Like, that was supposed to be before you were settled down with kids. You do that shit.
Yeah, it's definitely not admirable.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not. Oh, fuck. Apparently Triple H and...
I mean, if anything, lie and say, I made a mistake, I fucked her once, you know.
Yeah, just
like,
try and get out of it.
Like, don't just leave for her.
Well, that reminds me of, like, Crocodile Dundee, where he was, like, married before, and then he saw that, like, you remember the movie, right?
Yeah.
Remember that they actually got together on that film set, which, I mean, I can't blame him. I'm sure he regrets it now that the divorce took, like, 40 years or whatever, but, yeah. He's just, like, divorced his wife and
she
married her.
Her ass at him, and he did
she was hot, though, I have to give him. I can't really blame him. It's kind of like with Brad. I can't hate the guy over it. It's not admirable, and it's not good, and he shouldn't have. And I'm sure... Again,
I don't hate Bray over it. I just think it's wrong. Like,
yeah, it's wrong, but I can't...
I mean, and I understand, you know, she is a good piece of ass, but
it's like you see a bag of money
once, apologized, and been done with it. Like,
yeah, it's like
you know,
you see a big. It's like if you see a big bag of money laying on the road, and then you see like there's cops near it, but not directly at it. It's like I can't blame you if you take it, right?
Yeah.
It's like you know. You get caught, it's like, well, you know, I can't
but
blame
then abandons his family for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you just hurt your
he's a wrestler.
Over this.
He's a wrestler. He's used to abandoning his family for lots of stuff.
True. It's true.
Oh, fuck. What do you think of Becky and Seth being a couple, now that they're not hiding it? Even though they were hiding it.
I'm just glad someone's fucking that bitch. Oh. She is so hot.
Becky Lynch.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Yeah, she's not too bad. She's not bad on the eyes at all. You know, fucking...
Oh.
She's hot. Charlotte, though, is like hotter with clothes on. And then you see him with... It's like, oh god, turn to the fucking...
Huge, nice tits, nice hair.
Even though one of them's bigger than the other. It's just like,
you
look at her with clothes off. When you look at her with clothes off, you're like, whoa. It's like one of those chicks where you get them naked and it's like, oh.
For some reason, she has her dad's leathery back.
Who she dated? She's dated that, what the fuck's his name? Andrade Cien Almas or whatever. She gets around, man.
Oh, okay.
No offense to Charlotte. I mean, you know, women's empowerment and all that. I'm not against it. I'm just saying she kind of gets
she wants to have some sex. Go ahead.
It's the wrestling business. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
You think. Like, look at Lita.
Yeah, she's probably not a whore or anything.
No, it's just, you know, it happens. You're around all these fucking in-shape people all the time. You're away from... Well,
you're going to have sex.
Yeah, you know. Or unless you're like Paige and you just somehow have it videotaped.
Oh, yeah. Have a couple of cocks while you're at it, She is a nasty fucking pig. She is so hot, though. Oh, my God.
I know. It's like they didn't have that scene in the movie. They didn't have that scene in the fucking movie.
Yeah. I was like, she already has a documentary of her career. How do you think she got there? Her and Hunter, Vincent Hunter, were like, here you go. All right,
Imagine
I guess
some-
he's ready for the main show now, Hunter. She sucked down Vince's load while Hunter finished up her ass. So then she made the main show.
And it's not even bad to make fun of it, because it's like, you just have to.
Oh no.
You fucked up.
Of
You have a
course, I'm
sex
sorry.
tape out there.
Yeah,
No, I'm not. I'm not
You
sorry
give
at
up
all.
Yeah, not sorry
There's
at all.
tape of
Like,
all of
she
them.
She waived her rights.
Yeah. Well, it's like,
She
there's
waived
video
her
of
rights.
Victoria
And who was
getting
it in the sex
fucked.
tape? Xavier Woods?
Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox, if I remember correctly.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And imagine the whole New Day.
Well, that's why that moment with the Usos, when it's like,
She
yeah, let's
blew
try
his
and...
trombone.
Well, when, like, the Usos were like, let's not get X-rated like your boy, Xavier Woods. And this is right after, and the sex tape's already been released, and everyone knows. And they make that joke. And the whole crowd goes, oh, let's not get X-rated like your boy, Xavier Woods. And he...
Fucking Usos.
I became an instant fan.
I like him more already. I like the Usos to begin with, but now I really like them. Because, I tend to only watch pay-per-views, so, like, I don't know.
I'll send it to you.
But I'll say this. It's been a long time since I've missed a pay-per-view. I pretty much watch every pay-per-view.
Yeah, I need to get back into it. I'll watch. I'll watch on Sunday. You know what's weird? When I looked on the card on Wikipedia, it says Becky Lynch is fighting Charlotte and Lacey Evans. She's listed twice, and I don't get why.
She is. She's wrestling twice.
That's so stupid. Oh, because
I don't know the
title
story
belts.
behind it. But,
Oh, probably because the 2 title belts, right? One from Raw, one from SmackDown.
Gotta prove her worth, and I guess
That's so
she's worth
stupid.
it to be a 2-champ.
We all know Lacey Evans ain't winning that. She's gonna win both.
Champ.
Yeah.
Champ.
Well, that was so funny when Jericho corrected Conor McGregor. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Like Conor's speaking about shit he don't know. Stay out of wrestling.
Yeah. That was
Apparently, there's a lot of backstage shit between Triple H and Vince, because Triple H wants more control, and Vince isn't really willing to give it up. But I've heard Vince
is like, look, you fuck my daughter, keep your mouth shut.
He's like, keep your mouth shut, slump-headed caveman.
Yeah. Your mouth
But
shut. Don't
I
forget
think-
whose dick you suck around here, right?
I think it would be better if Triple H took over. Because it's like, I don't know.
It'd be better for the fans.
It would be better for the fans. It's just like, there's a lot of weird choices and decisions that happen. And it's like, man, that's a weird one. I don't get that, and stuff doesn't make sense.
Right.
So there's definitely some behind the scenes shit. Triple H liked a tweet someone had that, or they said, hopefully Triple H and them can wait until Vince starts doing his XFL stuff to not be so involved in the wrestling product anymore. And Triple H liked that tweet. Because both him and Vince and someone else were tagged in it, and he liked it.
Nice.
That's not telling at all. Well, since both Drake and Detox have prematurely gone off and left, I guess this would be a good point to end the podcast. I mean, it's probably been going for like 3.5 hours or something. But
Yeah.
long time. Been a long time since one of those. So I keep forgetting to look up our outro thing that we say.
I'll just say, we'll see you next time.
There we go.